It should be about now.
Sharp on the dot. It's 4.
Wait, let's see.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hello, I hear a little ding ding.
It's live.
It's not bad. Oh, your phone needs to on silent. Is it your phone? Or is it iPad?
It could be the iPad. Yeah, wait.
Okay. I need some feedback from those of you who are already tuning in now. Hi everyone. I hope that it's clear. Okay. So suddenly
Whose one's that?
mine. It's like, I don't know why. I think I pressed the wrong button. Okay, I just need to
Hi, Alice.
Yeah. Okay.
Saw someone.
So just make sure that you are seeing us clearly. You are hearing us clearly. Hi, Leiby. Hello.
Alice is
So in case it's not clear, please do send us a message so that we can try our best. Okay, the line here are not very stable as usual, but we hope for the best. Okay. Alright, just a few introduction before I share the whole thing. Maybe Kong Yu, as I share, maybe you do the introduction, can introduce them and who's the facilitator.
Okay. Alright.
Thank you.
So we're gonna do that. Hi, welcome everyone. So we decided this year we're gonna send the pig away.
I'm paid. Don't send me away.
A little bit earlier. Okay. Well, also because there are only 2 more months of, effectively of a pig year. October already,
Yeah,
and then,
so fast.
Higher. And then after that, November is coming up. And then December, as those of you who study Chinese Metaphysics or have knowledge of astrology, you know that it is already the month of the rat.
Yes. So I think there must be a reason why Jessie want to have it so early, right?
I'm not answering questions. I'm like, okay,
Jessie is in preparation.
So we decided to do an earlier forecast for the 12 animal signs. And then, of course, there will be other surprises coming up in the next 2-3 months.
Hi.
Whether it's on our Facebook Lives or from Jessie's side or from my side, also from.
I've forgotten I should speak in Cantonese.
Yes. So we're doing an early start to the 12 animal sign forecast and how to interpret those in your parts of chart. And those of you who don't have it, so you can go to the link that we put there to plot your chart.
係啊，咁樣其實咧就好似講腰咧，即係我哋而家提咗啦，好快就已經到咗10月啦。咁其實咧，我哋提早就係即係我哋要送走呢個豬仔，即係唔係送走你自己啦，即係送走個豬仔，即係迎身呢一個老鼠。係啦，咁其實講真咧，點解要嚇？Yeah，is it?
No, it's not.
It's not right.
It's supposed to be a boar, right?
Yeah, it's not.
It's not. Oh, it's just a mascot.
Yes.
Okay, pretend it's a rat because we don't have any rats soft toys.
係啦，咁樣咧，我哋提早知道咧，咁就可以咁啊 Jessie 又好好啦，提早俾大家知道，咁樣你就可以提早知道啊，你接落嚟嘅應該要準備啲做啲咩啦，即係要I shouldn't say forecast, right? It's not predict. It's just more on like a forecast. You know what sort of the preparations that you need to do before it comes.
做咩講英文？
係喎，點解講英文啊？睇住講英就會講英文。
Okay, I'm done.
Okay,
you guys
so
can do sharing now.
Over.
Alright, before we delay more time, because you will also notice that later on, right, okay, the whole thing will actually speed up because I want to share more information, okay? But now it's just that we are doing some preparation works, introductions and all this, and make sure that all of you are hearing us clearly and seeing us clearly. So later on you will see that we are not very technical savvy. Me, I am not very, okay, I'm very old school, so I don't really know how to actually use those apps, okay, to have all these slides to add on, okay, so that we can press and have the slides appear on your screen, and we do it manually. So besides the 3 of us, there's one more person there, child labor, that's my daughter, and okay, she's sitting at the side, and she'll manually bring all the auspicious, inauspicious stars, okay, to your screen so that you can have a good look at it. Now, in case you cannot see everything in one go, don't worry. The whole video will be saved up and reposted, so you can watch over again and again, alright? But the thing is, the auspicious and inauspicious stars, I will also share it later on my Facebook page. Those of you who are students and you want to know what are the stars, okay, for next year, I will also share it on my Facebook page. So, 唔好緊張。
係啦， 咁如果嗰啲即係第一次入嚟咧，或者係你個朋友第一次睇我哋嘅 video 咧，咁記得去呢一個 solidtrinity.com 嗰度 plot 一 plot 你自己八字 chart。咁樣喺呢一個 Facebook 嗰度有一個 link 嘅，你可以入去先 plot 呢個八字 chart。因為唔係嘅話咧，你就會以為淨係睇自己嘅生肖啊。咁其實我哋係唔係淨係一個生肖嘅，其實我哋八字入邊咧係有4個生肖嘅，所以一個唔好咧，唔係代表全部都唔好，所以要記得去呢一個 solidtrinity 去 plot 八字 chart 啦。
OK， 同埋咧the most important thing, make sure, because we just mentioned that you make sure that you all have your chart ready and it will look something like this, okay? That's a sample chart. Alright, and in your sample chart, of course, the most important thing is I want you all to focus and look at your 4 animal sign. Okay, look at this, okay? Alright, and you look at your 4 animal sign, all together you have your year pillar, your month pillar, your day pillar and your hour pillar. You can go into our website www.solidtrinity.com, free Bazi chart to plot, or you can go into any available website as long as you have your Bazi chart plotted out. Okay? 所以最緊要嘅係將你自己嘅八字咧就要去排咗出嚟。咁排咗出嚟咧，總共你有個年月日時。最緊要就係我要你睇住嗱，而家你喺個 screen 嗰度咧睇得到咧，年月日時總共有4個生肖嘅。
係啦
，OK，
其實
咁呢4個生肖入邊咧，咁你 make sure 呢4個生肖你知道係啲乜嘢生肖啦。Also, if you find that the lines are disrupted, please do let us know, okay? Because from here, I see everything seems to be okay, but in case if you find that the line is disrupted, please do let us know. Okay, so altogether, there's this chart like this. There's a year, month, day, and hour, and you have 4 animal signs. I want you to identify which animal sign you have in each pillar, okay? And then, later on, okay, we will then go into looking into each of the animal signs, the auspicious and inauspicious stars. So those of you who have followed us, okay, or followed me for the past few days, that I shared your ranking, which is ranking number 1, okay, which is the biggest winner, which is the biggest loser. Now, 唔好咁開心住先, okay, don't be so happy, because those ranking itself, I can tell you, it's only in a way for a slight, very elementary reference only. It's a very, very surface, okay? So don't be very happy if you got number 1. Let's say you're born in the year of a goat, okay? Or you have a goat in your chart, okay? Don't be so sad if you're ranked last, okay? Like you think that, oh my God, I'm the biggest loser, okay? So if you're a horse also, don't be so sad, because now we want to go into each of the auspicious and inauspicious stars and understand what it is and how to prepare for the new year in 2020. What does this mean? In which pillar, what does it means, and then how can we prepare ahead? So remember, whether you have the biggest star, I mean auspicious stars, or the worst inauspicious stars, it doesn't really determine your luck for next year, because at the end of the day, it's all about how prepared are you.
係啦，咁樣我就 recap 翻頭先阿 Jessie 講嘅嘢啦。當你有咗呢個八字 chart 咧，即係頭先我哋嘅靚女就 show 咗呢個八字 chart， 你就最緊要記住呢下邊呢度咧係有4個生肖嘅，即係唔好以為咧就係一個生肖。咁呢個年柱、月柱、日柱同埋時柱嘅，咁每一個柱咧其實係有唔同嘅意思嘅喎。咁阿 Jessie 就會解釋，所以記住就要睇翻呢個生肖。咁好似頭先即係之前早前啦 ，Jessie 就 share 咗呢一個嘅生肖，就會有呢個 ranking， 即係1、2、3、4啦。咁就唔好咁開心住，即係唔係話講你排第一咧就等於1。即係等於非常之好，因為其實最重要咧就係我哋要睇翻個星係咪啊？
啱，
係啦，即係我哋要睇翻個星，即係究竟係啦個吉同埋空星，咁同埋個吉同埋空星係代表啲咩意思咧？將會係帶嚟俾你乜嘢嘅 indication 咁樣啊？所以一陣間咧，阿 Jessie 亦都會解釋呢4處入邊咧係有咩意思嘅。所以你記住，當你睇嗰陣時，例如呢一個代表咩啊，咁你就要知道啦。
Okay.
Esme Chia is already asking, Hui, Metal Rooster, please, hey.
Okay.
唔使咁擔心，我哋會講嘅。
In case you have like missed out anything, alright, if you have any questions, right? Now, I hope that all of you are tuning in like because I try not to actually go into the detail now first, because we're still waiting for people to tune in, alright? So if you're tuning in itself, right, okay, later, probably another 5 more minutes from now, we will go in depth into the stars, the auspicious stars and the inauspicious stars, alright? And then one more thing is, now in case you have any questions, you can ask under the comment there. Okay, we will try to answer. Probably Kong Yu here can try to answer. Hui can try to answer, and of course, Anne, okay, at the back here, she will also try to facilitate and answer. And of course, I see also a lot of students out there. I can see, okay, Brian says that we need to refocus on the screen. Maybe Anne can actually help to tap on the screen to actually help to focus it again. Alright, so every time that probably we try to put on the so-called slide in front, maybe the screen will automatically out of focus. Okay, so it will be good for you to actually remind us of that. Okay,
咁
so
maybe 我問下 Jessie 啦 ，Jessie， 咁其實咧有好多人即係有啲係新學生啦，咁有啲人會問講，咁樣即係每一年咧個星咧係咪會唔同㗎？即係會唔會話講呢個星係會 forever 永遠嘅咧？
Very good. Okay, now what we has just asked is like, every year is that the auspicious and inauspicious stars, will it change, or one sign or one stars will actually remain it forever? Now see, the only constant is change. All the stars will change, and then that's why in Chinese we call it 風水輪流轉. Okay, all these stars itself will change, but no matter how it change also, right? You see, some of the stars can only change within that 4 animal sign. Okay, so that's why I want to explain you all from the perspective of gods and Sha or 神煞關注嗰方面. It's like how to look into the stars itself. What are the good stars? What are the bad stars? Now, some of the stars rotate all the 12 animals. If you really observe, like for instance, like general star. Now, Kong Yu here, of course, we have worked together very hard to find out the stars before any reference are actually like officially out. Okay, so we have to really like work from scratch, okay, to find all the stars itself, and then you will see that we want to share with you some of the stars, like probably general star.
Yep.
Okay, some of the stars will only rotate within 4 animal signs.
Yep.
Okay, so does it mean that only these 4 animal signs will have what it takes that represented by general star? The same thing as peach blossom star.
Peach blossom.
Because peach blossom, all these only 4 animals. Does it mean that the rest of us who doesn't have this peach blossom star, like me, forever no peach blossom? Okay. So some of the stars rotate all 12 animal signs. It takes turns. Every year it runs to the next animal sign. That's why this topic itself, this session itself is not about, oh, if you have the stars, good, okay? If you really look into it, right, some of the stars only go about on certain animals, okay? Now, all the stars rotates or whatsoever, right, it is just meaning that that particular year itself, it serves as a lesson or a major thing for us to focus on so that we learn, okay?
In fact, I was about to add as well, the very fact that you only have 4 here is also a big reminder that, hey, look, these are key lessons.
Yeah.
Whether it's to do with your family or your personal love relationship, there's a reason why you only get 4 animal signs in there, but it doesn't mean that the other aspects of life is not important just because you don't have the animal signs.
Yeah, and since you talk about the 4 aspects of life, right, why not we take a look at the next slides itself where the party palaces is, okay? So all of you, if you can screenshot this, alright, or like, you can just screenshot it and refer to it later on and on, but the thing is when you refer to it, right, you will miss out the whole live session itself. So the thing is, of course, I will suggest you to just pay attention, understand how it works, as if that now later on after the whole session you can know or derive from other people's chart, okay, how to advise on other people, and you can in fact go around helping other people by looking into their annual reading of the 12 animal sign, okay. I think that would be a better way. So now this is, as Kong Yu has started, these are the 4 palaces, okay. Why not, Kong Yu, you just give each other, all of us, a brief outlook of what these 4 palaces represents.
Okay, so as always we start from the year side of things. Okay, as you can see on the screen. So the year has to do with the external-most part of us, right? Whether it's our formal standing in society, right? And also the fact that because it's the first pillar that is affected from the influence of the actual annual as well as your 10-year luck cycle. So it's also governing our own emotions and feelings because it's the first layer into our full party, right? So because of that also affects the feeling of gratitude and so on and so forth. And on a formal setting, of course, it's the most outer layer from us as a person. So it's our company, our suppliers, our grandparents, and so on and so forth. I like to call it like 2 degrees of separation from your personal self. So that's the year pillar, right? The month pillar is more on a day-to-day basis what we encounter, and also our main dominant character. So as we know, we learn most of our characteristics when we are younger and we were growing up. So that's why it's also representative of our relationship with our parents as well. And also our day-to-day lives in terms of who goes in and out of our lives on a day-to-day basis. Customers, suppliers, our work, immediate work environment, and so on and so forth. Right? And then on the day pillar, right, one step in, so that's us, right? And those of you who know Bazi, you know that the day master, which is the day top box or day heavenly stem, is the representative of us. Our day master is there, so it can be one of 10 different elements, 5 elements, but in the yin and yang sense. And because of the fact that it's personal, so it represents us, our physical body, or our relationship with our spouse. So that's the personal relationship pillar also. That's the day pillar. Now one step in further, that is 1 degree below us. So it's our mindset, it's our thinking, it's our desire, our inner thoughts, and also the generation below. So it's either representative of our relationship with our children or our subordinates, our employees, people who report to us, people who are under our care. And of course, it's also our innermost desire and thoughts because it's inside of our physical self.
OK， 咁樣我就需要啲翻譯啦。咁樣麻煩我哋嘅公主睇定先。咁即係咧提翻鋼腰就講啦，即係如果你睇到呢個4柱咧，如果我哋睇連柱嘅話，即係因為佢係第一層嘅連柱啊，個連柱咧係會直接影響我哋嘅情緒嘅。或者係我哋自己嘅感受啊，咁佢亦都會代表係我哋嘅公司啦，或者係我哋嘅 supplier 啦，又或者係我哋嘅自己嘅 grandparents 嘅。咁去到呢個月柱咧其實係直接係會比較影響到我哋嘅，即係同我哋有關係嘅，即係例如我哋嘅customers 啊，我哋嘅 shareholders 啊，或者我哋嘅父母，亦都係影響咗我哋自己本身嘅理智啦，同埋嘅思想嘅。咁去到呢一個日柱咧，呢個係最重要㗎啦，因為呢個日柱係你生日嗰一日啊。咁呢一個日柱亦都係代表咗自己嘅，咁自己嘅諗法啦，或者係自己嘅公司啦，自己嘅 team 啦，同埋你自己嘅另外一半，即係或者你嘅老公啊、老婆啊 ，OK， 去到呢一個嘅時柱啦，即係你時間出世啦，咁呢個時間亦都會影響到你自己本身嘅做嘢嘅 action 啊，即係會做一啲乜嘢決定啊，或者係要想諗啲做啲乜嘢啊，你嘅夢想啊，咁佢亦都係代表住你自己嘅本身嘅你嘅公司嘅下屬啊，或者你嘅自己嘅產品啊，同埋你自己嘅細路哥嘅。
Okay, so those are the 4 palaces, right? And now we move on to the next part.
Okay, and of course, right, I'm sure everyone will be waiting, right? Okay, so who's having good luck and who's having bad luck? Sorry, it's like I can't tell you who's having good luck and who's having bad luck. You have to tell yourself because we are here to teach you how to look into your chart and do a reading, and then after that, okay, make a conclusion whether you think you're going to have a good luck or bad luck next year. So before we do that, right, okay, let's do a definition of what is good luck and what is bad luck. Now, good luck, I've always talked about it, okay? Right, good luck equals to preparations plus opportunity. So when you are prepared, all of us, when we are prepared plus opportunity arises, that's when good luck is going to happen. Now, bad luck, let's take a look at the next slides, okay? What is bad luck all about? Now, if you find that if you fall into one of this category, okay, it means that you don't have to see next year's whether how many auspicious stars you have. Chances is your luck is not going to be that great after all, okay? So now, what is the definition of bad luck? Now, bad luck, let's say for instance, if you're lazy, if you're a complainer, if you have no action or decided that you're not taking any action whatsoever for your next year, means that you're going to listen to these 2 hours of Facebook Live, and then after that, just sit down and wait for the stars to fall onto your lap, okay? That is not a good luck, okay? You won't have good luck, okay? So let's say if you have no skills, it means that you're not prepared, you have no talent, no skills whatsoever, you cannot convince even your own family members, or you cannot even control or manage your own children, then good luck to you, because good luck is also very difficult to come. Oh, good luck to you. It's like, you sounds confusing, huh? Okay? And of course, if you're pessimistic means if you're very negative, okay? But most of the time, every time an opportunity arises, you only think of what is the worst thing that's going to happen. Oh, I am not that great. Oh, I don't think I can do this, okay? I'm not ready. All these are pessimistic sort of like mindset. So if your mindset is like this all the time, chances is good luck also cannot get near to you. And of course, the last thing is, hopefully none of us, okay, falls below, under this category, is you're basically just dumb. Right, okay, you're just dumb, okay? If you're just dumb, then chances is, of course, you can wait for the dumb luck to happen. Dumb luck means, okay, randomly sometimes when your luck is so good, even though you're not prepared or whatever, you strike a lottery or someone just drop their money and you pick it up and you do not want to return it and you feel that, oh my god, this is like best luck ever because you got someone else's wallet or whatever. But I can tell you, this luck, it will not sustain because whatever that you get out of dumb luck, it will also go out like dumbly. Are there such a word as dumbly? No, more dumb. Okay, those of you watching, right? Okay, I learned this word from Singapore. Okay, from this student friend of mine. Everything that has an intense, intense mode into it, you just add the word more. So if you're dumb, you become more dumb. Okay, so if you fall under any of this category, again, I'm sorry, no matter good all these auspicious stars that you have in your chart, the chances is it is very difficult for you to go through good luck. Okay, so then what is okay? Maybe we need to translate.
係啦，咁樣咧，其實咧，阿 Jessie 頭先就有講啦。如果咧你需要呢一個好運啊，咁好多唐人咧，即係每一年都會去睇呢一個我今年屬乜嘢啊，乜嘢叫做好啊？咁講真啊，有乜嘢係會忽然之間嗰個星嚟到，你忽然之間會富貴啦？冇可能㗎啦，係嘛？所以咧，我哋就叫做，如果你要好運咧，就一定要預備好㗎。就算個星嚟到啊，你捉唔捉到都係另外一回事。所以咧，我哋就叫做好運咧，就代表你係有 self preparations 嘅，你係預備咗嘅。佢嚟到你就已經可以捉到啦。咁乜嘢叫做 bad luck 咧？咁樣 bad luck 意思即係講咩叫衰運？有好多人咧成日都會講，哎呀我成日都好衰㗎啦，或者我成日都係升職嗰個一定係唔係我㗎。咁通常你會發覺到失敗嘅人咧，其實大多數咧嘅原因係一樣嘅，就唔係話講係人哋嘅錯啦、埋怨啦，所以我哋就講 complain 啦，或者係好爛，好爛啦，同埋或者係冇咩嘢 skills 啊，或者係成日諗法咧，即係好 negative 嘅。
搞掂，好嘅 ，okay. Alright, so we have to do it in the dual language because it's like the thing is, I don't have any more time, okay, to actually do one more session of Facebook Live because we are like flying off, okay, on Monday. Looking forward to that. And of course, the next thing to go to see is like, why do we need to even like look at all these like auspicious and inauspicious stars? Why we want to forecast for next year before it even comes, okay? So that eventually, of course, we can make preparations before the year comes itself to know what are the things we need to strategize to be better and prepare ourselves. In one word, at the end of the day, ultimate success, so that we can be more successful next year compared to this year. We can be more better next year compared to this year. Okay, we can be more skillful next year compared to this year. So in order to do that itself, right? Okay, we need to understand the definition of success, and in order for us to be successful, change is inevitable. So it means that if you want to be better next year, means something needs to change, right? Because if you continue doing whatever that you're doing this year itself, you just will remain the same as this year. It won't change next year. So the next slides will tell you, have a clearer definition of what success is all about. Let's let Pong Yu actually do this, okay? Alright? So a lot of people think that,
Success.
Yes, a lot of people think that, okay, average is in between success and failure. Okay, if you can see on top, okay, that's averagely what people think. People think that, okay, if I'm average, if I'm okay, alright, okay, the next thing will be success. Alright, but the true fact is, okay, failure is in between average and success. Right? If you really think about it, okay, a lot of time when we think that we are average, okay, the next thing is we want to improve, the chances is we will have disappointment. Chances is we'll have a lot of tests and lessons, okay, things that somehow will give us obstacles in life in order for us to break through, okay, improve and be better. Therefore, we will only have success ultimately, okay? So always remember, if you want to have ultimate success itself, right, it means whatever that is in between, you have to go through failure. Failure doesn't mean it's like total failure. Failure just means obstacles, more hindrances. More things will happen in your life in order for us to learn the lesson, because once we have learned the lesson, we grow from it. Therefore, we become better at that particular point. So that is the definition of success.
係啦，咁樣頭先 Jessie 就講啦，咩嘢叫做成功咧？咁成功好多人就以為咧，我先苦後甜啊，就一定係會成功啊，即係我會 go through 呢一個嘅失敗咗啦，之後到唔錯啦，之後會到成功。咁其實咧， 呢一個失敗咧，永遠都係會響你呢一個嘅即係當你做緊好多嘢嘅中間係會發生嘅，即係唔係話每一日都會成功嘅，即係就算你今日成功咗啦，聽日亦都係會有另外一個問題出現嘅，所以其實現實上邊咧個 failure 咧係會係響你嘅呢一個 process 出現嘅。
Okay. Any questions so far? Are you following? Are people still watching? Because
Yeah,
I keep up on looking at my iPad.
Of course.
This is a bit distracting. Okay, I just want to focus onto my phone.
Okay.
So I mean, you can't complain that I'm going too fast because we have limited time. So if you cannot catch me fast enough, it will be good for you to replay the session again and again and again and again, so that eventually you will get it. Okay. And then if there's any technical things that you think you missed out, you want to understand more, you can actually like write down in your comment there, because we will then get back to you with the answer, or we will try to clarify to you. Okay. 問一問佢哋有冇問題先。
Make one says perhaps you can help to improve the snakes.
Okay, I will help to improve all animal signs, in fact. Okay, so all animal signs here, I will tell you about your auspicious star, your inauspicious stars. What does it mean? How to improve? Okay, what are the lessons meant for you in year 2020 itself? Alright. So okay, let's start with the first animal sign.
係啦，咁樣我哋就要開始我哋第一個咯噃。
係啊 ，okay, yeah.
所以第一個係咩咧？
It's a very good exercise for my daughter though. Yeah.
就係老鼠啦。
Okay, so the first animal sign itself, okay, following by the 12th zodiac animal. The first one is rat. Now, don't worry if you cannot catch all this in time, right? Okay, I will post this particular photo itself on my Facebook page. One, it has been beautified because it's just a rough thing. We've been rushing it, and the person who do this for me, right? She's on a holiday now in Krabi. Okay, therefore I cannot post this up yet because some of it you will see that there are still some things for us to actually edit. Okay, so of course if you have a rat, okay, how many of you here have a rat in your chart? Okay, in your chart, anywhere in the year, month, day, and hour. Remember, the next step for you to do is you have to now find out where does this rat appears.
係啦，咁樣即係睇翻你嘅字咧，即係呢個老鼠咧係落翻去邊一個柱嘅，咁唔同嘅柱係唔同意思嘅話。
Okay, so now we know that, right? At least the auspicious stars for the rat will be the general star, the golden lock star, and the duke's arrival star. Okay, it sounds like wow, golden lock la, general la, sounds good, And of course, the inauspicious stars will be the grand duke star, the sword age, and also the hidden cups.
咁樣呢一個紙入邊咧有呢一個吉星啦，有一個將星啦、金幣星啦同埋水架嘅。咁如果係嘅即係空星咧，會有太歲啦、劍鋒同埋服侍，好似個名好恐怖啊 ，Jessie。
Okay, now that she says that, now in Chinese it's more scarier than in English.
Well, actually, hidden cops sounds scary in English.
Is that
also.
hidden cup sounds scary? Okay, so now the next thing is, okay, now you look into this chart. Now the next thing is, of course, we need to understand, okay, what are the lessons hidden behind this? Of course, the good thing is you see general star. General star is good for the rat next year because general star represents power, authority, okay? So in a way that if you have a general star, it means chances year 2020 itself, right, you have more power, more authority, more say, okay? Or in other words, you also have more responsibility.
Yes.
It's the best year for you to take up more responsibility in your life because it's like the more responsibility we take up, the more powerful we become. But the thing is, a lot of times I see, right, okay, students or clients, right, they wait for all this power to be given to them instead of really searching, cultivating the power within them. Okay, means like instead of making sure that we are like cultivating our power, we just wait. Oh, hopefully the boss will just like promote me this year. Okay, so if you wait and you don't really cultivate the power within yourself, the chances is you will waste the stuff. Okay, you want to tell about the difference? Let's say the rat falls into different pillars itself or palaces.
Okay, we'll go through it briefly, but generally I think please keep this in mind because it will be the same scenario for the different animal signs and forecasts. Right, so if we let's say start from the year pillar, so this has to do with the most external self.
Emotions,
right?
your feelings.
Emotions, feelings, and also one important thing is your company. If you're employed particularly, so this will govern the company's outlook for the year. So if general lock and general star, golden lock, all that, it means your company will come under that influence. Probably is given some authority, maybe like a new account to manage, and also because of that there'll be income going to your company, which of course hopefully it will filter down to you also, because you're an employee with for this particular company. And so my grandparents also is governed by that. So if you move one internal, then this is a little bit better generally for your own career and also wealth status, because you have the golden lock star that arrives through the rat. which is residing in the month pillar, and so on. If it's on the spouse palace down here, which usually means the influence of the spouse more than anything. So if you have a rat in the spouse palace, either
you have more responsible this year.
Yeah, your spouse is the one that has more responsibility at work, or maybe the spouse is a little bit more in charge for that particular year with domestic affairs and so on and so forth. Yeah, so this one I personally also experienced also, but not the rat. I don't have a rat here. But Hui Yi, where's your rat?
My rat is in here. It's okay, I don't have a spouse.
So it's okay. Who wants to take control over Hui Yi? You can start taking control over her.
Yeah, I am actually controlling next year already.
Alright, and the hour itself also represents our output, okay, our children, okay,
our
and
product.
Our product, okay, and I would say that okay, the hour and the day itself represents internal, and the external, the year and the month itself represents the external. Okay, so we know taking responsibility on the internal issues of our life or the external issues of our life itself. And of course, this year because it comes together with Golden Lock. Golden Lock itself, General Star and Golden Lock paired together, it means that the more responsibility you take in your life itself, more money or the opportunities of making money or wealth will come to you.
Ooh.
Okay, so the key thing is, okay, are you taking up responsibility or not? Because a lot of times, right, okay, people thought like, okay, boss, either you promote me or you don't give me anything else to do, okay, because it's not under my KPI, okay, it's not my job scope, okay. But the thing is, if you have this general star, even though because it only says that okay, you have more responsibility, it means more things will be given to you. Then subsequently, the wealth will come, okay. So it's like. Right, so let's say, right, okay, if you have, okay, now in case I pause a bit, right, it means that someone is showing me questions at the back, okay, so I'm distracted. So let's say if you have this, right, okay, a general star in the Golden Lock, it means that this year itself, the more responsibility you take up, okay, in terms of your work or yourself, okay, the chances in the future, right, the possibilities that you can actually earn more money. Let's say, for instance, if you go into investment, you go into a long-term investment, there's a high responsibility that you have to take up, okay? Because you have to take loans and you have to make sure that you're responsible enough to pay or repay all these loans by month, okay? Every month you have to repay it. That is by taking responsibility, and overall, you are also activating the Golden Lock, which is like your golden safe. Now, someone asked, what if my red appears in the luck pillar? Okay, now if your red appears in the luck pillar, it is also part of you because it's actually part of the luck that you're going through now. Okay, so it's your current state, it's your current moment that you're going through. So that also represents, it means that now luck pillar normally you have to go external to get it. Okay, it's not on your natal chart. It is something that somehow this moment, like how to say like 路過啊. Well, let's say you have a wealth of luck, it's like 路過, means like passing by. Okay, so if you are somehow right, chances will come to you in a way as a pass by moment. So probably people will just say that maybe under like over a meeting, over a lunch or dinner, you know, people will just say certain things like, you know, I have these things, you know, you want to take up enough, or I have this particular project, you know, looking for collaborators or people who are like, you know, willing to take up a project. Do you want to take up? It's just like, it's a very slumber. It's just by the way, we are here doing this, and the opportunity arises.
So the opportunity is out there, and whether or not it can be pulled into you, it depends on you.
Yeah.
And also whether it's enabled by the other animal signs in there.
Yeah, okay, and of course, the few things, of course, the SWOT age, right, okay, that the SWOT age itself, the few negative stars that you have, Grand Duke stars, okay, this year itself, somehow, right, your star itself is a Grand Duke, okay, somehow it will make you more emotional, okay, together with the SWOT age, emotion in what aspect? SWOT age is all about competitions. Okay, being competitive, being competitions, and you see that more and more people like to compare with you, like to compete with you. So let's say if you do not want to be pulled down, okay, by this issue itself, you need to always be ready and be prepared to, how to say, to mitigate the negative star. And when I say mitigate, doesn't mean that you have to buy any trinkets, wear anything, put anything at home or whatever in order to mitigate it. It means that how are your mind mentally prepared? How are you mentally prepared for it? You know that more people will come and compete with you. More people will come over to actually, like, you know, take away things from you. Okay, so are you going to fight or are you going to flight? Are you going to take fight or take flight? Because a lot of times, right, when obstacles happen, when things becomes tougher or more difficult, people tend to run away. So what is your choice? That one you have to make a point and always have to remind yourself, am I going to fight on or am I going to actually run away from it again?
係啦，咁樣即係講翻呢個字啦。如果吉星入邊咧有呢個將星啦，即係將星即係代表你今年咧係有特別多嘅責任啦，或者係權利。咁有好多時候咧，呢個權利咧唔係話你去攞嘅，即係人哋係俾你，即係或者你今年你特別多，即係老細啊覺得你特別好啊，或者係你嘅老婆覺得你今年真係要幫佢好多嘢，所以特別多權利嘅。咁樣第二個咧就係呢一個金庫啦。金庫意思即係講你今年有機會可以揾到更多嘅錢啦。但係當你揾到更多嘅錢咧，即係代表你更多負責任嘅意思啦。所以唔係話講一定有錢就係好啊，即係講你特別多嘢係要照顧嘅。咁嚟到呢一個冇咁好嘅星咧，就即係空星啦，可能就係太歲同埋劍鋒，即係可能令到你今年係比較多競爭嘅，或者係話好多人會同你搶嘢啊。咁其實有時候有用嘅人咧係特別多人係要同你爭嘅，
因為太多嘢。
係啦，即係尤其是你權力越高咧，你就會惹起好多妒忌心咁樣啊。咁其實如果你將呢個嘢係一個好嘅嘢咧，咁佢就會變成一個好咯。因為 emotion 係一定會有㗎啦，情緒一定會有㗎啦。但係睇你係睇翻你究竟係要去呢一個 fight with it 啦，或者係你係要逃避呢個問題。咁 Jessie， 如果即係其中一個問題咧，頭先你話講有機會做即係揾錢啊嘛，即係有功夫。咁若果呢一個只係喺呢一個 investment， 咁即係代表佢今年應該即係明年 investment 啦，定係佢其實嚟緊嚟咧，其實已經係投資咗，忽然之間會有錢嘅。
嗱。It means, let's say her question is, let's say you have a red and your hour pillar means it's good for investments or it's relating to your investment. And since you know that now you have the golden lock plus the general star itself, right? Will it be a good year for you to invest next year, or it just means that whatever that you've invested previously, okay, that you will see the results coming in next year? Now, it is something for you to take responsibility upon. So it will be good for you to really consider investment next year. When I say investment, it's not really like not gambling. Now, investment and gambling is two different things. Gambling means you're gambling your luck, okay? It means investment means, right, okay, you really go there, you precisely know what you are doing. You know the market, okay? You know the trend, you study, okay? And then you know what to invest on. Okay, if you want to buy something, right, okay? For instance, you know how to actually select it. That is an investment. It's not that you feel there, you go there and feel that, I think.
即係要做好多嘅研究啊 research 啊，即係要了解咗先啊。
And part of the research and analytical and all these things, right, is also part of the preparations, okay? So why people good at investment is not just because that, they just feel like, I just pick this and it will go up all the time. Sometimes it's mere luck, but if you want to continuously do that, you need to have the experience, the knowledge, okay, the skill in order to do that. So if you have that skill, next year will be a good year for you to take up more responsibility, okay, in order for you to probably do some long-term investment or an immediate, investment itself will be good for you as well. So the red, remember, in year 2020, right, okay, there will be competitions. So if you can actually learn how to turn fear into motivation, it will be a very good thing for you. Means, instead of being fearful of your competitors, make your competitors someone that motivates you.
即係保持好嘅心態啦，好嘅情緒去迎戰呢一個即係未來會有嚟嘅挑戰啦。咁有一個問題咧就問啦，How about education？ 即係佢係即係呢一個教育咧係 under 邊一個 pillar 咧？
Okay, let's say for instance, if you're thinking about education, it's more like internal. Internal is like something to actually strengthen you. Now instead, let's say if you're doing like education in terms of skill, like skill it means like physically you have to work on something that's more external and your month and your year. But let's say if you're taking education something to actually boost you internally, it changes your mindset, it changes your beliefs and all these things. It will be on the day and the hour. Okay. Now one thing you have to note. Next year, the red itself, right, if you look at the 12 Zodiac animal ranking and out of the career, wealth, academic, relationship and health, right, okay, the career and wealth are the ones ranked the highest most. So for red, it will be a good year for you to also focus more on career and wealth. Now, why is it a lot of people go through bad luck is because they focus on the wrong thing at the wrong time. Okay? It means that year, the years that is supporting you to actually learn and grow and be better are all from career and wealth aspect. So it will be a good time for us to focus on that. So instead of wasting the year talk about all this like lovey-dovey thing,情塔塔 and all these things, right? Then aside it will be a waste. Okay?
所以注意啦，即係今年咧，即係老鼠嘅話咧，就最緊要係注意你嘅事業啦，同埋你嘅呢一個財富嘅。
And then also one more thing, of course, the red itself, right? Competitions is high next year. There are a few months that you might want to focus on, all right? Focus on March, focus on June, July, September. Now, this few months itself, chances of competition, pettiness, and like obstacles or hindrances will be higher. Okay, so always remember this few months itself will be slightly more challenging in terms of emotionally or physically. Alright, so take note of all these months itself. So whenever you feel like downward spiral, you feel that you are like demotivated, you feel like you are being negative or whatsoever during this month itself, it will be a good time for you to remind yourself. Okay, it's just the effect of the rat.
咁Jessie 啊，如果你頭先講呢4個月份係比較競爭啦，咁佢可唔可以即係暫時離開呢一個地方去搞一搞佢自己情緒咧
Okay, if you really do feel like demotivated or whatever, some changes or whatsoever to change your energy pattern or energy cycle will be good. So how you say that, is it good for you to actually make some changes or travel and whatsoever? Short trips, travels, or just make sure that whenever you are, let's say you're staying at home and you feel that a bit like suffocated, just make a short trip out. Okay, change to a new different environment so that you have like a new perspective to look into or a new external envision to reflect on. Okay, so that will be a better thing that you can actually work on too. Okay, we have to go to the next one.
Yes, but before that, I think one very important thing, a lot of people would be having the question, the star animal sign of the year, the rat, right? 反太歲啦, right? So that's the main concern of it. So in my experience, it is just basically the Grand Duke is in the palace of the rat, and it just means that year is very happening, is very unsettled, is uncomfortable.
Yeah. Okay, since it's uncomfortable, make it uncomfortable. It's okay. Because General Star and Sword Age means you have to go and fight, right? Because General Star is like 将军, you really have to take the responsibility and go and like really fight and pull all obstacles down. Right? That is how you're going to grow. So if you're thinking about, just waiting, the rat next year, not too bad, ranking number 6, is it? Okay, the rat is like ranking number 6, and then you have the General Star, and just wait until this opportunity comes in, it won't come in that way. So always remember, people don't fight with you, you just go and look for a chance to fight. When I say fight means on a healthy level, okay? Don't fight like those, protester. Is it protester? Okay? Don't fight like all those protesters is like not really using their whatever wisdom in order to do things. Okay, when I say fight means like healthy fight. How can you actually get yourself into a challenging environment to turn your fear into motivation? So that is the motto for you if you're born in the year of the rat. Okay, so the next one is the ox.
Okay, second animal sign.
Okay.
Ox.
So ox itself, you have like 3 auspicious stars, okay, which is the heavenly Yi star, the Grand Duke combination, the Sun star, and 1 inauspicious stars, which is the Tomb storage. Okay, let me quickly go through all these things, right? Okay, heavenly Yi, of course, it means like the highest, most powerful, noble people. Okay, right, and then you have the Grand Duke combination. It means somehow you have a lot of connections with like powerful people, authoritative people, because Grand Duke is the most powerful star that governs the year itself. So when you have Grand Duke combination, means somehow your relationship, your connection, okay, with these people is going to actually help you throughout the year itself. And of course, Sun Star, for all ladies, Sun Star represents your peach blossom star. Okay, peach blossom means your 头发 your likability level among opposite gender will be better. Alright, and also if you're single and available, next year will be a very good year for you to actually try to find, okay, you're the other half, like example. Okay, but if you're married, but okay, but available. Okay, never mind. If you're married, okay, alright, don't worry. All these are good, favorable stars. Okay, as long as you know how to manage yourself and manage your emotions, nothing really bad is going to happen. Okay, so you need to know how to make use of this star. So for ladies, the Sun star is a good auspicious peach blossom stars. Okay, likability level is good, especially opposite gender. Overall, for male itself, is also a good star in terms of nobleman. Okay, so the sun is out, the chances is it helps to dissolve all negative attributes in our life. Okay, of course, one of the things that I always like to advise on people, if you have the Sun star and the noble people star and all these things, right? Whatever endeavors you try to close, deals, proposal, or whatever it is, it will be good if you can actually do it during daylight. Okay, daylight means when the sun is out. Okay, try to avoid, as in like a business proposal over dinner. Okay, but instead do it over lunch. It will be better. Now, one thing to look into is the tomb storage. Now, the tomb storage itself, right? Okay, in the olden days, it says of something of like inauspicious events. You have funerals, okay. You have potential people sick, okay, in your family and all that. But in nowadays, right, okay. It's in the olden days, a family can comes up to like one parents can actually give up to more than a dozen children. Okay, there are really a lot of them. Okay, so almost like certain times you have like many uncles, many aunties. Okay, alright. Sometimes you have like many mothers as well, because in the olden days they can marry as many as one too. Alright, so every time you see a tomb storage, right, the chances is there will be someone passing away in your family, because your family is huge. Okay, but nowadays, right, especially in China, right, now you have like probably just one child. Or even in Malaysia itself, except for me, okay, averagely people have just 2 children, okay? So the chances of like every time you see the tomb storage and people passing away is not that high anymore. So generally tomb storage means, okay, tomb storage means it's the earth element has been enhanced. The earth element means the graveyard element has been enhanced. It means a person's personality, they are more what? Introverted, they are more stubborn, okay? Or people who always like to hide the truth, okay? They don't want to say out, they don't want to express, they hide everything. Also can be a person who is a very argumentative. Imagine earth, what happens underneath earth? That is when all what decomposition, is it? This is what I got?
Decomposition.
Okay, decomposition. Sorry, that's my English teacher there. Okay. Alright, so that's all these things will decompose underneath the earth itself, okay? So the thing is that's why people who has all this like very argumentative sort of like behavior or characteristics, okay, when you have this tomb storage itself, it will also impact us. Or what is this decomposing us inside, which is our mental? It means our belief, the way we think. Are your thoughts in a way really making you weaker and weaker day by day? That is the impact of the tomb storage. So remember, if you're born in the year of the ox, or if you have an ox anywhere in your chart, next year it needs to be a very optimistic year for you. If the more negative you become, okay, the more you think that you're not good enough, the more you think that you are like, not skillful enough, right? The more you will suffer from all this negativity. Even though, right, the ox itself is like, in a way is considered ranking number what? Number three. Okay? So you will see that even ox is considered ranking number 3. But let's say if you have the characteristics of like to hide everything within you, all these noble people cannot help you. It means that if everything, if you have a problem, you say you got no problem. Okay, right? People want to help you, but every time you stand to defend for yourself, you tend to hide yourself. Okay, it means that in a way you are fending off all these noble people. Okay, 可以。
係啦，咁樣呢一個牛咧，唔使啦。阿 Jessie 嘅女 hold 到好辛苦啊。咁樣呢一個，如果有呢一個牛啊喺你呢一個即係生肖入邊啦，咁即係代表咧今年會特別多貴人嘅，亦都會遇到好多可以幫助你嘅人啊，咁亦都可以提升你嘅人緣啊，即係你今年人緣咧特別好嘅，即係人哋特別中意同你嘅。咁如果你本身係一個女仔咧，有呢一個牛入邊咧，即係代表咧可能有機會性咧機率性咧會遇到呢一個嘅桃花嘅，因為 the sun 即係另外一半啦，即係男人嘅意思係咪 Jessie？ 係啦，咁如果你係男仔嘅話咧，咁可能就係代表你都好多啲男性嘅朋友會幫助你嘅，會有好呢一個好多呢一個嘅 connections 啊。咁比較呢一個空星咧有呢個木庫啊，木庫嘅意思即係以前啲人係講無庫無父，即係以前啲人講咧，即係無啊，即係或者係身邊有啲人啊去世啊或者咩，但係今日呢一個 modern 咧，即係呢一個嘅modern days 咧，我哋就叫做咧，因為有啲人咧有時候係會比較 introvert 嘅，即係內向嘅，或者有咩嘢咧會擺喺心入邊嘅，問佢你有冇事啊？咁冇事啊，即係乜嘢都樣嘢咧，即係會屈埋喺心入邊嘅。咁若果你就算有一個咁好嘅星啊，即係有個咁多嘅朋友想幫你，但係你自己選擇一個匿埋而一角咁樣有唔同人哋講話啊，或者係唔同人分享啊，咁就會令到你會越嚟越 negative 嘅，即係情緒會越嚟越比較唔好嘅。
Okay, and then of course I see that I think Jen Ho and also Li Jing. Li Jing was saying that you have an ox in your spouse palace. Now spouse palace represents your spouse but also represents you, okay? Ourselves physically as well. So you know that how we present ourselves next year is very important. So we have to present ourselves as in like very like sunny, bright, okay, sun star means very cheerful sort of characteristics, very bubbly sort of like characteristics, very happy, okay, that would be good. But the thing is also you have to remind yourself you cannot hide the truth, okay, because the tomb storage will try to jeopardize you subconsciously. It means that throughout the whole year itself, right, you have this subconscious mind, okay, affected by the tomb storage, okay, in the inside of things, right, okay, will always try to manipulate you to hide the truth. Okay, so you need to fight this. This is the inauspicious stars, the only one in your particular chart that you have to fight it off. Now, how to fight it off? Okay, how is it going to manipulate us? Because one thing is we have to always remind ourselves that are we being truthful or not? Okay, it means that the tomb storage tend to hide things. When people ask us like, no, are you good? Are you okay? Even if you're not okay, say you're not okay. If you're not happy, say you're not happy. Okay, don't like, a lot of time people will say that, are you okay? Okay, but you know inside you're not. Okay, because if you do that, you are in a way putting your soul into the tomb. It means you're killing your own voice, you're killing your own expression. So remember, those of you with the ox, especially those of you with the ox in your spouse palace, it's you. All right. So remember, you have to speak the truth throughout the year. And because ox itself has so many so-called nobleman star.
Yeah.
Sun star, Grandy combinations and heavenly gate are all nobleman star, 貴人星嚟嘅. So there are certain months itself, it will be better for you. Okay, right? This month itself will be more like, in a way, more smooth sailing for you when it comes to looking for help from other people. And of course, these are the months that you have to look into. It is May, all right? It is in September. January next year, it means that January 2021. Okay, don't get it mixed up. It's that January 2021. It is in September. It is in May, and it's also in December. Sorry, we have guests coming in. Okay. All right. So always remember, it is May. Again, I mentioned May, September, December, and January 2021. These are the few months that you have more nobleman love. Okay, or likability level is also higher.
係啦，咁樣即係記住頭先 Jessie 講咧，呢4個月咧係3個月咧，即係特別多貴人幫你嘅，就係5月啦、9月同埋2021年嘅1月。咁其實最重要咧，雖然你有好多呢個貴人星，咁最緊要咧就係要保持呢一個好嘅心態，因為係啦，好嘅心態啦。如果唔係嘅話，你就好容易就活響自己嘅世界咁樣樣。
好似個太陽咁。
就好似我咁啦。
A very good example of thing. But generally, I think if you use the positive, availability of the energies, all will be clear. You have a very powerful sun star in the sign. So if you're active, if you're positive, you're bubbly like Hui Yi, you openly admit the truth and confront reality and what you really know, and you should be fine, and you should be really good.
Let's share with them one more way of how to actually make use of these stars based on the palaces. Because since you already know that you have all these noble people, right? And then where does all these noble people come from, so that we can focus, okay, where to look for these people if we really need help, all right, or people who help us throughout the year itself. So you can have your ox, all right, in either of these palaces or more than one palaces, depends on your own chart. So let's say just now we already talked about all these charts, right? For those of you who are joining us just now only, you miss out the front part because we showed you the different palaces represents different things from a party chart. So if you have missed that, remember the whole video itself will be saved and reshared. Okay, so you can actually refer back to it. Now, example, if you have it in the year, it means that your nobleman luck comes from what? Your external circle. Okay, external circle means you have to go out. It can come from your company. It can come from your supplier. Okay, if you have it in your month itself, right, it can be within your bosses, your management team. It can be, let's say, like in immediate circle of friends,
friends,
like
family.
parents, parents, close relatives, okay, that is your month pillar. And then if you have on your day pillar, it can be your spouse, your partner, okay, or you yourself, helping yourself out. Because the most important thing I would say is, if you really want other people to help you, firstly, you have to help yourself. Okay, so if you're in the day itself, right, it means that we ourselves helping ourselves in order to achieve the things. It means that we stop running away. Okay, we actually start living life by facing any obstacles that comes our way. That is on the day itself. And then of course on the hour itself, it can mean our subordinates, people under our care, our children. Okay, it can also means that in a way that nobleman people are attracted to us through our skills or product. Okay, we have certain products, certain ideas, and it attracts nobleman people into our life. Okay, so now this general applications applies to all animal signs later on. So you need to learn how to see it, so that every year, instead of just waiting for the 12 animal sign, which is good, which is bad, and then, oh yeah, next year I am good or next year I'm bad, and that is not helping. So you need to know, why am I not so great? Why am I good? What is it? And how to maximize it? Okay, and what are the things to watch out for?
係啦 ，Sasa 呢度問咧，呢一個即係若果呢個丑時，即係呢個丑咧向呢一個時柱啊，咁即係咪代表佢嘅下屬會更加中意佢啊，定係幫助佢嘅
？Yeah, it means that let's say for instance, if you have an ox, as I says, right, okay, in the hour pillar means that potential you have like more subordinates who are able to help you, to support you, okay, or in a way it makes your life easier lah. Okay, so let's say for instance, if you have an ox here, it also means that probably in a way it will be a good year for you to do more recruitments. Okay, maybe some of our businesses and all that requires a lot of recruitment. It will be a good year for you to do so.
Okay, so we have Jen and somebody else, right? The ox in the spouse balance, and then Hu Yi, you have a ox in the hour.
Yeah, I have an ox in the hour.
Congratulations.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Helpful subordinates.
Those who watching my subordinate, please help me next year.
Okay, then we have to go to the next. Okay, the next one is Tiger. Alright, and Tiger auspicious stars is the Sky Horse star and the Tai Chi star. Now normally I don't include Tai Chi star into the auspicious and inauspicious stars except for this year, and I'll explain why. And of course the inauspicious stars itself will be solitary star, separating age, funeral door, and flying chase star. Okay, so now Sky Horse and Tai Chi. Now Tai Chi star itself, right? Okay, if you have seen the Tai Chi symbol, or in Chinese we call the Tai Gek Sing. Okay, now Tai Gek Sing means that it's a good star that governs, how to say, a very deep aspect of life, spirituality. Okay, deep meaning of life. Okay, or let's say if you are interested into all these metaphysical things, if you go into spiritual stuff, even religion matters and all these things, all governed by the Tai Chi star. So it will be a good year of self-discovery, looking deeper into your life purpose, okay, finding your path. That's why Sky Horse. Now, Sky Horse is a traveling star in general. Now, Sky Horse is also representing the path, okay? Which direction are you going through? So for those of you with a tiger in your chart itself, right, it will be a good year for you to determine, okay, what is your path like? Which path you want to take? Which path you want to travel, and then what is the purpose behind this particular pathway. Okay, because Tai Chi star is a very important star for period 9. As you all know that in 2017 we have unofficially gradually entered into the energy of period 9, where period 9 is governed by Li Gua, or the Li fire. And that is why nowadays from 2017 onwards and officially entered in 2024, okay, more and more people now are finding the meaning of life, the purpose of life, okay, what is the true fire within them, instead of just following or just working out of fear, security, or stability in life. Okay, so more and more people are trying to fire more and more people are trying to find that the fire within themselves. So when you have the Tai Chi star, okay, this Tai Chi star itself will travel, and when you have the Tai Chi star itself, it will be a good year for you to actually harness this. Okay, so those of you this year in Jihad year, okay, means 2019, this big year, you still have a few more months, okay, to try to look into this particular aspect, okay, and this year itself, it falls under the 4 graveyard, means Long Gao Ngao Yao, the dog, the dragon, the ox, and the goat, okay, for this year 2019. For 2020, it goes into the tiger. And of course, solitary star, separating age, funeral door, flying chase. Now, one thing about like separating age and solitary, you see more and more funeral door, more and more of all these stars are opening to another portal. It's like multiverse. Now you're going to another realm. Now, doesn't mean that ask you to go into hocus pocus and suddenly you can go on trance. Okay, we don't need to go into that. By doing this means when you have solitary star, separating age, funeral door, it means that more time on your own, more deeper reflection, looking into the aspect of your life on your own instead of like by being affected by the noise of the society. Okay, so it will be a good year since you have a Sky Horse next year to plan on retreats, plan on short holidays, or even plan of not going anywhere but staying at home, but do a deep meditation, a deep reflection, finding the purpose of life.
咁樣呢一個即係若果你有呢一個嘅老虎咧，咁你就有2個吉星啦，就係驛馬星同埋太極星啦。驛馬星同太極星，咁太極星嘅意思即係講令到你開始要係諗下自己嘅人生入邊係需要做啲咩嘢㗎，亦都係一個非常之好嘅年咧，去參加一啲或者係做一啲 meditation 啊，即係去 calm down 下自己啊，人生入邊係你嘅意義係咩啊，應該去做啲咩啊，或者係 self motivate 啊。去上一啲課啊咁樣樣嘅，咁其實空星咧有好多就係孤城啊、孤塵，即係 角、喪門啊、飛廉，即係呢啲星睇落去好恐怖，咁其實都係代表住咧，即係唔好將自己一個人啊，即係有好多時候
要將自己多啲時間一個人去反省一下。
係反省啊，唔係一個人去諗，即係諗辦法咁嘅意思。
唔係，即係唔係一個人去，即係譬如好似自尋煩惱。
自尋啊，即係唔好太孤僻。
啱。All the stars itself, it needs to be on a progressive internal mental reflection stars. Because all these stars will either make you totally depressed, or you are actually reflecting onto your inner self of what exactly are your purpose in life. Okay, so don't get it wrong. Okay, by spending time on yourself or retreat and all these things, right? It needs to be a progressive mode. Doesn't mean that you're isolating yourself from other people, that you're staying away, running away from the society, or running away from connecting with people. Okay, it just means that now you are taking time off to find what is your real purpose. Like what is the purpose of you? What are the things you want to achieve? What exactly makes you happy? By not listening to the voices of the society. It means that it's no longer about what other people expect you to do. It's no longer about like, oh, I need to make money. I have to actually I have to have house. I have to get married by a certain age. I have to have children, and I have to pay off the bills and all these things. You don't really live onto that routine general society expectations anymore.
係啦，
you have to break free from that.
即係講意思，即係講唔好太孤僻，即係有咩時候咧，即係淨係自己，你可以自己一個人即係各自自己一個人思想下，即係去了解下自己啊，自我反省下，或者係去諗下一啲，即係做一啲去 improve 自己嘅 mental 嘅。
Let's say if you're not ready to do it on your own, because the appearance of solitary, separating age, funeral door and all these things, right? We have a higher chance of pulling you down, okay, in terms of your emotion. I mean, chances of you getting into depression will be high, alright? Therefore, if you think that you're not ready to do it on your own, try to actually look for experts' help. Okay, there are many different gurus or masters or whatever. Try to attend talks. Try to attend more of different type of talks for self-discovery. Yeah, self-discovery for finding your purpose and all these things. Means at least it is guided and you don't have to do it on your own.
Yeah, and we're looking at the Skyhorse star being present at the same time. The fact that tiger is also a Skyhorse animal generally, it does look like there are a lot of opportunities to do that within travel, within retreats, and also making growth changes to yourself and your own goals and aspirations 咯。
即係趁呢個機會咧，係沉思下自己啦，可能去其他地方啊，行下睇下人哋啊，即係睇下人哋啲文化，去 inspiration 下，俾自己有一個比較了解自己究竟接落嚟咧係應該做啲咩。如果唔係咁樣嘅話咧，就會好容易落到呢個憂鬱嘅，咁搞到自己就會有憂鬱症啦，係咪？
Of course, there are a few months that you can consider probably planning in some retreats for next year in 2020. So those of you born now, when I say retreat, doesn't need to be those you have to shave your head or you have to dress all in white or whatever. It can be any other it can just be a trip to more spiritual places. Okay, it can be like a trip to instead of shopping trip and all that, you make a trip to more spiritual places, to places which is very deep, rich in culture and all that. Things, and when you go on this trip itself, the chances of you making more reflections in life itself will be higher. Now, which are the months will be good for the tiger to do so? Now, you look into the month of May, you look into the month of August, you look into the month of November. May, August, November for the tiger. And other than that, also you look into the month of November especially, okay, for end of next year. Because November is also the growth for the tiger star. Okay, so that particular month itself is good in a sense for you to actually make some changes, some trips or some retreats. At the same time, because it's growing the seeds of the tiger, it means it's actually growing the seeds of the yang wood. It's more technical. Just use that month and plan a trip. Make sure that it's a spiritual or a more meaningful trip. It's more like looking back into nature and other things. Okay, stay away from the bustling noise of the city environment. Okay, next one.
Next one is rabbit.
Rabbit. So now the next one will be rabbit, and when we look at rabbit itself, right, let's look at what are the auspicious and the inauspicious stars. Okay, rabbit got two auspicious stars, which is the red matchmaker and then also the moon star. And then of course the inauspicious stars will be the hook spirit or hook edge is the same, alright, or the piercing rope star. So let's look into this rabbit, red matchmaker and moon star. What does it mean? Okay, when we look at the red matchmaker and moon star, For guys especially, it's a very good peach blossom star because moon star represents yin aspect of life, okay? Means that, let's say for instance, if you're a male, if you're a guy and you're single and available, your attractions towards the yin aspect means females into your life itself will be higher, and getting people from the female polarity helping you in your life itself will be better in year 2020, okay? Red matchmaker is like, it's like the red strings somehow that connects you with the right person. Now, in the olden days, they only take this as a marriage or a serious intimate relationship style. Now for me, I don't see red matchmaker as only when it comes to relationship. Red matchmaker means that somehow you'll be shown to people who are important to you to learn certain things, okay? To get certain projects done, to get certain businesses done and all these things. It means whatever ideas or things that you want to manifest, okay, or make it happen, somehow the red matchmaker will match you with the right counterpart, will match you with the right people in order for you to be successful in your endeavors. That is the red matchmaker. They will match you, they will pair you up, okay? So not necessarily must be just intimate relationship, because in the olden days itself, right, there's not so much things, okay, as in business collaborations and all the things, okay? So in our society now, the red matchmaker just simply how matches you with the people who are in a way important for you to learn or to grow or to make certain things happen.
咁啊 Jessie， 如果呢一個即係如果呢一個兔仔，即係代表有可能即係男仔嘅話，可能就係會係桃花啦。咁如果係女仔嘅話咧，亦都係可以講貴人啊，即係其實同頭先個牛個貴人有咩分別咧？
Now, because just now she asked is like, just now the ox is a sun star. So the sun star for normally is like male nobleman because that represents the yang counterpart. So the moon star in the rabbit represents the yin counterpart, means female or yin polarity of things. Okay, so this will be like the ability to help. Now generally we say yin and yang is on people, but always remember, let's say for instance you look at the business aspect, right? Okay, means if you look into like yin star means something which is not obvious, because you see a business can also be divided into yang and yin aspect. It means the departments that are in a way that actually goes out, in the front line, go out like like a hunter to go out and hunt for business, your sales, your marketing, your business development. These are all yang aspect. Whereas your human resources, your accounts, your services, those actually stay in the office to service, to farm certain things. That this is called the yin aspect. So let's say if you have an independent company and now you need a yin aspect of thing, means probably if you need like some cybersecurity, some apps or some software that you need people to actually help to make sure that your company is safe for all these data and whatever, that is the effect of the moon. Okay, so let's say if you need someone to in a way to support your company, it means that you delegate out, means like how to say, what's that word I say?
Outsource.
Yeah, outsource. You outsource to another professional company to help support your particular business, okay, from a yin aspect. So behind the scene, we have another guest. Can someone get the phone?
Oh, we got it. We got some assistants around.
Now that's the privilege of having more children at home. Okay, alright. So those of you who are single, remember, or just married, do consider having more child.
係啦，咁樣頭先阿 Jessie 就講如果你有一個兔仔嘅話咧，就代表話你今年咧亦都係好多貴人嘅，尤其是如果係男仔嘅話咧，咁就會有可能就會遇到女性啊，即係 get 到呢個女性嘅幫助咧會比較多啲嘅。咁頭先阿 Jessie 亦都有解釋咧，太陰星咧即係代表話你 intern 啦，即係因為我哋一間公司入邊有前線同埋有後盾嘅幫你嘅，咁可能今年咧就會比較多啲後盾幫你 productions 啊、supportive 啊，或者係佢係翻
即是話係栽培嘅，
栽培嘅，
真係喺裏面栽培。
係啦，裏邊栽培嘅，會幫助你好多。咁頭先呢一個Christine 啦，佢就問啦 ，Rich matchmaker 係咪 only for guys？ 即係都唔係嘅 ，for guys 即係講
male and female
係啦 ，male and female 都可以嘅，只不過男仔咧。Because 太陰就係代表係女性啊嘛，咁對男仔嚟講。
Red matchmaker means like whether you're male or female, you're born in the year or you have a rabbit in your chart itself, right? The chances of getting the help of like being allocated to the right people or meeting the right people to help you in your life itself, the chances will be higher. But that is also provided that you're willing to go out, okay, or you're willing to go out and connect, because all these are like somehow like a peach blossom stars. It means that it helps you to connect with people. But let's say if you have the mentality that always you like to isolate yourself and you don't like to go out and connect, you wasted the star.
咁另外一個問題咧，亦都問呢一個 rabbit 啦，係喺佢嘅呢個 spouse palace 啦。In a spouse palace does it mean he shall make investment or money to do with lady-related business?
Not necessarily if it's in your spouse palace, right? Okay. Not necessarily that you need to actually like invest in lady to do business, because you see when it comes to business, it's a long-term thing, because most of the time you don't just do a business for a year, and these stars will change annually, because this year it will be within your chart, and the next year the great matchmaker or the moon star might fly to another animal sign and you might not have it anymore. So if you want to start a long-term business, or you want to focus on the industry of the business, okay, based on that yearly star itself, is not the wisest thing to do. Alright, it will be more on the strategy to your business. What are the methods, okay, in order to enhance existing business that you have? That's a very good question. Remember, you don't start a business based on an annual star. You start a business based on your natal chart. Means what are the original strengths, weaknesses, and all the things that you have, okay? What are the things that is best for you in your natal chart that you are inborn with it? You start a business based on that calculation, not on your annual star. What we are doing now is just annual star reading for 2020. So this is more on like short-term basis, on the learning curve that you have to go through for year 2020 in order for us to improve, to be better, so that the next round, this inauspicious stars, whatever that comes to you, it no longer hindrance you anymore. Okay? It means that this year, rabbit, you have the hook spirit and the hook age. Okay? So hook spirit and the hook age means what? 人哋講勾神或者勾搞 means right 三魂唔見七魄. It means that somehow this hook star itself comes to you to hook your spirit or hook your soul away. Now, it doesn't like sounds that scary. Hook your soul away, right? Okay, it doesn't mean it's like life and death. It just means that somehow more things will happen in your life this year that keeps you distracted from your goal.
It may lose your mind.
In a way that, because too many things. You wanted to focus on your career, and then suddenly your friends say, let's go karaoke, okay? And then you end up doing karaoke, okay? And then you want to focus on your career, and then your friends say, okay, let's go mama or clubbing or whatever. And all these things will actually distract you from your goal. People try to pull you away, okay, from your path itself. So when you have this star, the best thing for you to learn in 2020 is how to focus your mind, how to say no, how not to be distracted by all these things, okay? Because you will find that more and more things will come and distract you. But how can we overcome this star so that next time, whenever the stars comes back again into our life, it will no longer affect us? All the stars will come in a karmic loop, because it will it will just cycle around the 12 animal sign. It will come back again and again, and all the stars is not new to you, okay, unless you are less than 12 years old, okay? Alright, because if not, right, all these stars are not new to you. You have experienced it before. The impact of these stars, you have experienced it before. But the thing is, awareness is not there. It means that probably previously we are not aware that how the stars is going to impact on us. Therefore, somehow we got distracted. So now you have no excuse. If you're born in the year of rabbit, or you have a rabbit in your chart, so you know that somehow your external circle of people, your family, close relatives, even your spouse and your family members, or your subordinates, your products, or your whatever, like your desire, hidden desire, and all these things will distract you.
係啦，尤其是係男性啦，即係唔好諗住你今年咧有呢個紅鸞星咧，即係好多女仔圍繞住咧，即係代表好事。尤其是有啲咧係做 sales 啊，好多女仔圍繞住，咁有時候咧係會被 distracted。Distracted,
could be also. And then the other thing is, of course, those of you who study party, you know that the rat year comes along, so the rabbit sign is under an uncivilized punishment. Right, so you're going to have possibilities.
The affairs,
Peach blossom problem. Besides that, also, I mean, there might be, with interpersonal issues. Even if it's not peach blossom related, that means like people expect things from you, then you cannot really give them what they expect. So it's that uncomfortable feeling.
Yeah, uncivilized punishment also really means that people being uncivilized to you. You know, people will having words, when you're driving and all that, people bullying you on the road and all that. It's just simply being uncivilized over things. Let's say, for instance, whatever that's happening in Hong Kong now, besides it's a bullying punishment, it's also uncivilized punishment. Because in a way that suddenly the whole city itself becomes so uncivilized. Okay, it is back in those uneducated, uncivilized manners. Okay, so uncivilized punishment when the right comes in, a lot will be affected.
咁若果即係萬一啦，即係自己本身係男仔而有呢一同聯又結咗婚嘅，即係唔代表你今年係行爛桃花運啊，即係代表係比較多女人係會係你嘅貴人啫，即係你善用即係身邊嘅女仔嘅同事啊，或者係做多啲女仔嘅生意啊，都可以幫到你嘅。咁啊 Jessie，
It definitely means that somehow your affinity with female will be higher, especially for men out there. But it's all boils back down to our own discipline, okay, and how we manage things. If we know how to make use of this stars itself, when it comes to female likability level is higher. If we can actually mix probably how to make use of it, how to leverage on it, and how to make all these female counterparts in our life itself to be able to help us in our life, then it means that we are using the stars positively.
咁樣我哋應該係要注邊一個月份呢？
Now, okay, for the rabbit itself, let's say when you talk about potential, nobleman help, okay? So for rabbit itself will be on the March itself is okay, it's not really the strongest. Now July will be good, November will be the best, okay? November will be the best. July itself will be good as well. So these few months itself will be good in terms of nobleman help. Now another more month is October. Okay, October is also a good month when it comes to nobleman help. Means this month itself, chances is higher, okay, where you will easier find people who are somehow meant to be for whatever endeavor or manifestations that we have. Okay, remember all manifestations, whatever that you want to manifest, you need to unblock the blockages that you already have first. Okay, it means that if you want a relationship, you have to unblock all the lessons of relationship. Okay, if you want money, you have to unblock all the lessons that you have that will come upon towards your path of achieving more wealth in your life. And that is important because if none of this has been unblocked, right, your manifestations will not happen.
所以記住咧，即係兔仔咧，今年就係要 focus your mind 啦，即係唔好日日即係三魂唔見七魄咁樣樣啦。
Okay, the next one. All right, the next thing we have to go faster now. Okay. The next one is dragon.
Dragon.
Yeah, dragon. The auspicious stars is elegant seal, 3 stages, and also the national treasure stars. These are the 3 auspicious, and then of course the inauspicious will be cascading cloud and also the 5 ghosts. Now, dragon. Dragon is ranking number 4. Okay, right. So, obviously someone is showing me. Okay, so dragon is ranking number 4 itself. Now, elegant seal, 3 stages, and national treasure. Elegant seal means it's it represents something of course, skillful things. An artistic pursuit of things. Now, elegant seal can also means that somehow whatever that you do, those of you with a dragon in your chart, right? You have this a big umbrella or a big sort of protection above you. Okay, so that whatever that you comes out, okay, right, you have a big canopy that always following you, okay, protecting you from the wrongdoings or the mistakes that you might have made, okay. So it will be a good year for you to actually learn. Learning means, right, learn from mistakes at time, okay, minimize mistakes to be made, of course, and if you're aware of it, right, elegant seal means that if you can enhance on your talents, it means you have to find out what are your talents, okay. What are the things that you need to improve on? Okay, make your talents into a skill and make your weaknesses into something that you are no longer weak at. Okay, so that is the purpose of elegant seal. 3 stages means that the thing is you do not you do not need to rush. Okay, don't rush to things. Take it a step at a time. Okay, don't be greedy. All right, 3 stages always means that you have to take 1 step at a time. If you are impatient, if you have greed, then the chances have you have to learn that you build your life itself without a proper or a good foundation. So remember, for all dragons, okay, next year itself is a good year for you to always look back into the core of how to build your things. What are your talents? How to build it and develop into a skill. How to go and strategize whatever plans that you have taking that step by step guide instead of rushing 一步登天啊 you know towards like immediate success and see immediate results, but you are not working onto the fundamental core of things. And of course, national treasure stars itself, it means also in a way that you have noblemen, you have certifications, you have something. Okay, it will be good for you to actually get something to certify you. So if you're thinking about collaborations with certain companies, or change job or work with certain companies which are more certified, which are more recognized, which is more multinational, it will be a good year for you to do so. Or if you're thinking about learning something to get you certified of certain things, okay, right? Okay, certain get a doctorate, a PhD, or learning all these certifications will be a good year for you as well. That is for the dragon. Of course, the negative stars are cascading cloud and the 5 ghosts. Now, 5 ghosts. Oh, one more at the back, okay? Cascading cloud, 5 ghosts, and also the yellow flag, okay? So the cascading cloud especially and the 5 ghosts, these 2 stars are very petty stars, okay? Because 5 ghosts and cascading cloud represents, okay, revenge. People coming back to you suddenly, like, like in a shop, something like, imagine like you have a big cloud, okay, gushing over you and like covered everything, that suddenly it becomes unclear, that you can't see your path anymore, and then all these people are like overtaking you. It's like a cloud of like situations that comes and overtake you. So it can mean revenge. It can also means like in a way that, okay, let's say for instance, like for ladies, it can also mean miscarriage. Okay, 流下 can also mean miscarriage. If you're planning to have children and all this, you have cascading cloud, you have to be careful. Chances of miscarriage is also higher. Now, 5 ghosts itself represents wherever you go, all these 5 ghosts will be very petty, hanging on to you, getting something out of you. They want to actually get something out of you, okay? It means that it will be good for your dragons, okay? Next year itself, do not pay attention to small little gossips, pettiness, and all these things, okay? 5 ghosts, if you are unaware of it, if you are not careful of it, it can also lead to legal disputes or even lawsuits.
OK， 咁樣我就 recap 翻阿 Jessie 講啦。如果你有一個龍咧，喺你嘅八字入邊咧，今年咧就係最主要嘅字咧就叫做學習。咁呢個學習咧唔係一定話講即係讀書啊，讀到好多咁嘅意思。學習學習，例如你有好多失敗啊，要學習下，要攞下人哋啲意見啊，或者係學習 from mistake， 即係喺錯誤中領悟到你學到啲乜嘢嘅。所以學習咧係有一個 keywords 啦。咁 at the same time 咧，即係做每一件事咧，即係做每一件事，即係唔好太心急啊，即係一步一步嚟，即係唔好一步登天。所以咧做好多嘢咧就係最緊要就係有步驟啦。咁同埋有呢一個各人星嘅，即係有個吉星係各人星。各人星嘅意思即係講，若果你今年你想讀一啲去攞到更高嘅學位，例如doctorate 啊、master 啊，或者你想讀一啲 certificate 嘅一啲嘢，去攞到更高嘅權利啊，或者係換工啊，咁今年就會一個比較好年嘅。如果空星嚟講咧，就有呢個流下啦、五鬼啦，同埋呢一個嘅黃幡。係啦，咁其實好睇你嘅黃幡。咁咩意思咧？即係講今年會遇到有一啲曾經做咗一啲事咧，會有人尋找你一啲，即係或者今次係你嘅即係點樣講咧？即係尋找你尋仇啊！唔係講尋仇，即係講有啲嘢咧，佢翻嚟，你係需要去尋仇。
佢可以講得好客觀，嚇親你咧。係啊，所以唔好咁多仇口咯。
係啦，其實都唔一定，即係我認為唔一定係人嘅，可能有啲事咧，你曾經係咁樣啦，但係而家咧翻嚟係你需要去面對翻呢一件事嘅。
係啊，同埋咧，人生入邊最大嘅敵人就係自己啊，所以分分鐘係你自己內心嗰隻魔鬼翻出嚟同你尋仇。係啦 ，OK， 所以唔好對自己唔住，好陰功。咁
樣五鬼嘅意思即係講盡量咧，即係唔好同人哋參與一啲gossip，即係
即係啲是是非非啊。
係啦，是是非非。咁其實講真係啦，如果你係一個有用嘅人，有是是非非真係難免㗎啦。我認為我都會有嘅。咁樣冇是非嘅話，即係有人注意我都幾好啊嘛，係咪？咁但係即係唔好參與咯，即係唔好製造更多嘅是非啦，即係自己參與入邊，咁就會變成一啲可能有啲口教，即係可能有時候有啲人輸你啊，或者咩咁就唔好啦。所以今年 focus 咧就一定要學習啦。
係啦，講嘢之前三思先，即係諗清楚，就係咪需要講啦，講有咩作用啦，幫唔幫到助啦，幫唔幫到別人，幫唔幫到自己啦。如果真係樣嘢都係真係唔好呢，你幫唔到嘅話咧，唔好講咯。係啦，OK，因為好多時候咧講咗出嚟好多嘢咧，其實如果我一日入邊咧，你睇下我哋講過所有嘢咧，其實大部分係冇用嘅。係啊，除咗呢2個鐘頭嘅 Facebook Live，應該有用嘅。係啦，咁仲有就係如果你係女性咧，你有呢個籠入邊啦，你而又想明年生仔咧，咁可能就會有呢個流產嘅跡象啦，咁就可能就要 take care of 你嘅身體啦。係啦，咁即係唔好太牛啦，唔好太過即係好衝撞，跟住講自己好有即係唔好逼自己係啦，唔好逼自己得太緊啦。OK， 咁樣。
I was about to say, my whole field, I mean, of all the signs, all the stars and all the readings for the dragon signs, I feel it's very corporate, very corporate life. And so probably, I think for many of you who do have the dragon in the outer pillars especially, you're probably involved in that kind of work. Right? There's a promotion, there's learning, but there's also a lot of gossip, possible petty people, issues
Remember,
with
don't get yourself involved in
colleagues.
the rat race, okay? Even though you are the biggest winner, you are still a rat. Okay, I'm not saying that the rats are not good, okay? But it's just that, that's how people say it. Always remember, at the end of the day, what is the purpose? 佢哋做咁多係做乜嘢咧？為乜嘢嘢咧？Okay， alright， 同埋咧最好係搞好自己先啦。係啦，咁要邊一個月份要注意嘅咧？Okay, for 龍嚟講 ，especially those miscarriage one, right? Okay, so for the dragon itself, be careful of the October month, right? October, the chances of like miscarriage is higher, and then another month will be the January following year, means 2021 January. So these 2 months itself, especially for those ladies who are like trying to conceive and all that, these 2 months have to be extra careful. Chances of miscarriage will be higher. Okay.
Happy birthday to you.
喂，我哋未搞掂喎。
Happy birthday to you.
Oh, sorry, we got another distraction here. Okay.
Happy birthday to you.
Surprise! We have a guest here that knows that one of our presenters here is having like, sorry, rancangan tergendala.
How come the information so early?
Okay, sorry, whoever that's watching. Alright, we'll just have like make a wish.
Okay, thank you for joining us live now. Thank you for celebrating my birthday live with me also.
Yeah, okay, so you have to make this quick and have to blow the candles and we have to take away the cake and then continue on.
Okay, are you ready to make my wish?
Surprise!
Thank you.
Okay.
Why is this so early?
I don't know.
Okay.
It's supposed to be towards the end, but it's okay lah.
Okay.
Never mind.
Alright.
You want to take a toilet break? You can take a toilet break now. Okay, you can bring back up the cupcakes. You can bring back up the cupcakes and we can continue. Where were we?
Wow.
We were on the miscarriage， 即係若果一啲龍咧，即係佢想即係特別咩月份要注意咧，係喺呢個10月同埋1月2021年嘅。
Okay, next one, snake. Alright, we have to like really quickly go through this, okay? And now, of course, the next one is snake. The auspicious stars for snake will be the professor star and the monthly virtue star. Okay, professor star and monthly virtue. And of course, the inauspicious stars will be the robbery star, lesser consumer, and also the death charm. Okay.
哇，好恐怖啊！
我仲係好 distracted, obviously. Alright, so the snake itself, right? Okay, for next year, professor star and monthly virtue is good. Now, professor means it's also like an academic star. It will be a good year for the snake to actually focus on study. Okay, getting yourself like really like fully certified of whatever that you're good at. So let's say for instance, okay, you are like probably working as whatever professions, okay? If you think that getting another cert to certify you will actually enhance in terms of your career, get it by next year, okay? That's the year of the snake. Okay, and then monthly virtue, remember that you have to actually focus on your achievements or focus onto your goal on a small chunks means that it needs to be a short-term goal. Instead of focusing onto like planning about like 3 years ahead or 5 years ahead, try to actually have like small sizable goals to actually work on. Okay, means like what I want to do like these 3 months, what I want to achieve, and then after that another 3 months, what you want to achieve. That will be a better thing to work on. Now, robbery, shore, lesser consumer, and death charm. Lesser consumer means right, chances of poor right? That means the money going out will be higher. Together with robbery sha means keep sad means somehow people actually bully, suppress you, press on you to take away something from you. That's robbery sha. Robbery sha can also denote the possibilities of like 损伤. 损伤 means it's like injuries and all that to your body. Okay, so let's say for instance those of you born in the year of the snake, you have like minor surgeries that you need to go through. Okay, it will be a good year for you to consider. If you need to actually go for like some dental treatments and all that, it will be a good year for you to actually look into as well. Now robbery sha means that it is a year somehow that try to avoid going into like all those like areas which is more prone to theft, to robbery. It means like you walk behind like lanes and all the things, chances will be higher as well. So if you know that an area is not safe, okay, try to avoid or try to stay safe as like as aware as possible lah. Okay, and then what else you want to chip in? Anything you want to chip in for the snake?
For the death charm?
The death charm itself is like in a way that like things are not growing anymore. So if you have a death charm, like possibilities that you tend to actually like stay where you are instead of like progressively making growth in your life. Okay, so that will be one of the things. That's why for the snake itself, always make sure that you have short-term goal. Okay, in order for you to be better, for you to grow to the next level. Okay, so but you need to set all this growth level.
係啦，咁如果有蛇嘅咧，咁你有呢個兩個吉星叫做博士啦，同埋呢一個月德嘅。博士意思即係講都好似類似你可以讀一啲嘢啊嚟 certify 自己嘅。咁月德嘅意思即係講你最好就係 set 一啲比較短暫嘅呢一個短暫嘅目的地需要達到嘅，即係唔一定係要長遠嘅，即係keep it short， 即係好似3個月啊，或者係maybe呢12個月入邊我要讀10本書。可以係咁樣樣，係唔一定係大嘅。咁就最緊要係要比較注意嘅咧係呢一個空星啦。空星有呢一個劫殺或者係呢個小耗同埋死符。咁咩叫做劫殺？劫殺即係講可能有啲人佢俾你一啲比較大嘅壓力，或者係佢會響你身邊有啲嘢攞走嘅，或者你嘅權利啊，又或者係有可能你會有呢一個少少嘅傷啦，即係割傷啦，即係所以揸車咧就要小心啦，或者係你可能會有做呢一個嘅手術啦，小手術啦，所以有啲人咧你都可以去睇下啲牙醫嘅。咁呢一個死符嘅意思講有好多嘢，即係可能今年即係唔建議大家即係做一啲太大嘅動作，即係要比較保守啲啊，係咪啊 ，Jessie？
Okay, then you see that, okay, just now I think Sasa actually asked, right, what if you have your snake in your year and your month, or your year or your month pillar, what does it mean, right, okay? Now the snake itself represents like robbery sha. Okay, now robbery sha, it means that the chances this year itself, and that represents the external environment, it can be a business, the company that you're in and all the things. It means competitions in your immediately work environment to your company will be higher. So it will be a good year for you to actually be more aggressive, be more competitive, okay, in order to overcome that. And then one of the best mitigate way is Professor Star. Professor Star doesn't mean that you have to really go and like study until you become a professor. Professor Star just means that a recognition. So let's say whatever company that you are in, let's say for instance probably like Sasa, I know you're in Kuwait, right? Okay. What are the recognition? Okay, recognitions that you can actually get for your company itself. It will be a good thing. Nowadays we have like a lot of like most influential people. This is like the best recognized company. You have any CGL, any certification to certify your company achieve certain things and other things. It will be a good year for you to try to achieve that. Even on a personal level itself, right? Recognitions probably somehow next year itself. Those of you born in the year of the snake, you suddenly become a dato or a datin or a dato shri or a datin shri. Mei Guan is a snake. I purposely say what I said. Okay, all right. So who knows that somehow your life itself, okay, you have another recognition, another title to you, and this title itself at the end of the day is also going to help you into achieving whatever endeavors that you want to achieve. Okay, all right, remember money comes from many different forms. Okay, it can come from connection, it can come from status, okay, all right, it can come from really hard work, it can come from investment. So every aspect of it can also brings us into making more money or more successful in our life. Okay, so if you have a snake, it means that the recognition is important.
咁樣頭先呢一度咧有個朋友問咧，若果佢係呢個蛇係響呢個 hour pillar 或者係 luck pillar 咧，即係有咩分別咧
？The same thing, right? You see, if I start answering all these questions, right, later on every animal sign someone will ask me. Yeah, you're very cooperative one.
So you want to,
I think you're bakat one, is it?
You want to give another example?
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So remember, you have to interpret the same outlook depending on where which pillar that we're talking about. So you want to explain again the pillar, or you want to move on?
Yeah, you explain the pillars again.
Okay. This one is snake and owl, right? Okay. First of all, my feeling when it comes to the snake is because obviously this year is a clash year or wherever your snake is. So it means that this year would have encountered a change. This year is in 2019. So this is the year following that. So whenever we use the reading and the outlook for the year, we also have to take into account what happened previous year. What has already transpired. So obviously there was a change this year, so now you have to settle in with the change. Right? So because you have the Professor Star and you have the monthly virtue there, so it's a good follow-up year. After you've already been given the change, or you yourself have made the change, so now go and seek recognition. Go and maybe upskill yourself. Right? You have a professional course that you can attend. That your company may be sending you, then go for that. So now you're more equipped, you are more empowered, and so on and so forth. And you know that there's help because there's monthly virtue. So you follow through from the change of last year, right? Now when it comes to the question of where, in terms of the snake and the owl, it means possible change of portfolio, right? Your products, your output has changed, right? Perhaps maybe your subordinates also has changed, or you have been moved to a different department depending on what you have in your other parts of your chart, and you have to follow through with the change law.
Yeah, and also owl also represents your investment, and since now that your investment pillar itself, you have lesser consumer, which is a poor choice, like it's money, chances of losing money, and also robbery sha is there, right? So your investment itself, you have to be very careful. If you're looking into long-term investment, especially, you have to be very careful because this year itself, right, it's all about short-term thing. Okay, so if you're thinking about long-term also, like you have to be extra careful because the possibilities is like if you don't really make proper analysis and you commit yourself into a long-term plan or a property investment, for instance, okay, there are possibilities probably out of this year itself, whatever that started committed this year, over time itself becomes a robbery shot. Means that somehow this particular investment itself, right, okay, it is not like yielding any profits, okay, at least like for even 3 to 5 years example. So it's like it locks down your money in that sense. So before you even invest, you have to like look through it clearly. If you go into a short-term investment also, you cannot go into like too massive or too big investment because you still have lesser consumer and robbery sharp. It means that whenever the wealth, okay, in a way that it is like prominent, okay, or at risk, okay, the risk will be enhanced higher. Okay, so therefore you have to just be careful when it comes to that.
Correct.
Okay.
The other possible interpretation is the investment from this year, the year of the pig, the year of the boar, right, will still be a little bit more on the negative side for this coming year.
Yeah,
so if you made
have invested this year.
Correct. So if you made this big investment this year, 2019, you will probably you will not be able to regain for this particular, as in this coming year 2020, not yet. You still have maybe a little bit of outflow even.
Yeah. Okay, so we go to the next one, which is a horse. Okay, now the horse is ranked the last. Okay, so according to the ranking system, this is like the biggest loser. Okay, but again, as I mentioned earlier on, don't worry if you're born with a horse in your chart or in the year of the horse. Okay, but you know that you have learned all the lessons that you need to learn to get yourself prepared. Okay. Don't worry about all the inauspicious stars because it's merely there to test you to learn and grow. But you have learned it in prior, none of it is going to get to you. So the auspicious stars will be relief god. The inauspicious stars will be year breaker, bath, big consumer star, herder star, calamity star, and broken star. Okay, so
咁樣個馬咧，即係今年入邊咧係排隊尾㗎啦，即係第12名啦。即係佢其實有一個吉星嘅啫，就係解神星啦。咁其餘嘅咧即係話空星嘅，空星有破碎啦、沐浴啦、大號啊、欄杆啦、災殺啊同埋破碎嘅。咁樣阿 Jessie 好似好恐怖喎。咁即係代表即係今年全部都係衰年啊。
Now, not necessarily as I mentioned, even though you have a horse in your chart, right? But if you are ever ready, you are prepared, you have learned. Now, year breaker and the big consumer simply means that you are not good into wealth management. This will be a terrible year when it comes to wealth management if you have not learned it. If you have not mastered the skill of wealth management, then this will be an like chaotic year for you, okay? Especially if investment, wealth, money related is onto your hour pillar. If you have it in your hour pillar, worse still, right? Okay? So what you need to learn now is like, take it as a year for you to learn and grow, because it's every time that somehow when the year comes and you are unaware of it, somehow that year itself, where you got money, it will go out. Like you will disperse your money. It's like whatever investment, the money that you have, it will just go out like that. Okay? But if you learned it, okay, if you learn how to manage, take this year itself to be a year for you to learn how to manage your wealth. In fact, it can be a very good year, okay, in long term for you. And of course, I'm going to share with you at least some basic fundamental into like wealth management. If you have, those of you have like studied under like T. Half Acre, you know that he has this principle of like the 6 jar concept. Now, you can also try to create, you don't have to follow by rules itself, right? The 6 jars concept itself, right? Okay, or you have to have more jars, you have more percentage into it, by all means, okay? Now, the 6 jar concept, it just simply means that 55%, okay, 55% of our income every month itself, you can consider putting it into necessity. 1 jar for necessity, another jar for long-term saving for use, okay, and then you have a play jar, you have an education jar, you have a this is what we call a financial freedom jar for long-term investment. You can also have a jar for gift, which is for charitable work and all that. Okay, so remember that every month itself, okay, whenever you got the money, you put into different percentage into all these jars. And of course, the percentage you can actually like, you know, it varies. You can really like create your own. For instance, like necessity is like your food, your utilities, your rental, your car loan or whatever. These are under necessity, 55% of your income. And then you have a long-term saving investment in case for rainy days, okay? Who knows, suddenly you have some health issues or whatever, but I'll tell you health issues, please start buying insurance, okay? Alright, so you can put 10% into that fund, and then another play jar for another 10%, you have education, another 10%, financial freedom, 10%, and of course gift and also like charity work, another 5%. Okay, so it's really up to you. If you think that charity 我自己都唔夠用啊 better to give first, okay? It's really up to you. But I say one thing in Chinese, we say 捨得. 捨得 means when you are able to give, you'll be able to take. Okay, so if you feel that I am so like ungenerous, it means you're not generous to give, right? The chances is you have nothing to take, because it reflects on our subconscious mind. Remember, all these stars plays upon our subconscious. When you feel that you have not enough to give, you are stingy with your money, or stingy with not only money. Generosity can also come with like, you know, your energy. You don't have to pay money all the time, but you want to like give your energy, your support and all that. If you're stingy even with your own energy, the chances is because subconsciously you believe that you have not enough. Okay, you don't have enough. Okay, that's why you are stingy to give. You have what we call the scarcity mentality. Everything is limited. But if your subconscious mind believes that everything is limitless, you will give. Alright? Not to say that you don't have the wisdom and give everything, right? You don't have to. But the thing is, you won't be fearful in order to give. Okay? Because you know when you give, you receive. So these are the few things. Let's say, for instance, if you're born in the year of the horse, or you have a horse in your chart, learn about financial management. Alright? Or if you think that you have learned it, you have no issues when it comes to financial management whatsoever, then you know that the year breaker, the big consumer star, has nothing, okay, to affect you. Then you have to look into relationship. Financial part you have learned, you look into relationship, because you have a few stars to test you on relationship. So horses, you see that next year, right, there are more, how to say, lessons or tests for you. Now the stars to test you on relationship is the bath star, okay, alright, the herder star, you have also the broken star. The broken star itself, right, the bath star means more temptation, in a way that there are a lot of things that happens itself, right, when it deals to relating to lust. So if you're always falling into temptation of lust and also attachment, like alcohol, okay, or sex and all these things. I'm not saying that sex is no good, but if you overdo it in a way that you cannot differentiate between, like, okay, the healthy level or the lustful level, now it will be a big blow to you in the year of 2020. Okay, broken star means also whatever, it's like a curse. Okay, whatever that in a way that you say, or you will break relationships around you, means probably like, no, you don't mean it, but after a while you try to break or severe ties. You say that, I don't want you anymore. Okay, I don't want to work with you anymore. I don't want to, like, no, I want a divorce or whatever. Please think twice before you say certain things like this, because of the broken star. That is when you will have a very high chance of severing ties that most of the time you don't mean it. Okay, but you say it out of like, fear or out of ego manipulations. Okay, so these are the things that the horse needs to actually pay attention to.
咁樣嗰個馬咧，就頭先阿 Jessie 講，有好多即係好似代表唔係話咁好啊，咁亦都係代表咗你有好多嘢係需要學識，即係好多好大嘅課程係需要你學識嘅，即係或者係知道，尤其是你要管理自己嘅財啦，即係你應該今年咧要學識去點樣去分好你自己嘅財富啦，同埋呢一個嘅relationship 啊，即係你自己可能你同你身邊嘅人嘅一啲嘅溝通啊，或者係交際嘅問題啊，都需要去學識嘅。但係都冇忘記都有一個吉星嘅，即係到最後都有個解神喺嗰度，咁即係代表有好多嘢可以係仍然解決咁解啦。
係啦，and of course 解神 means in a way that we need to actually relieve God means that we have to actually relieve it. Okay, we have to do the action. It means that relieve God can't help you if you are not relieving because it says like it's inside out. How all these stars, how this God is going to in a way help us itself, we have to help ourselves. Okay, so if we can't actually put in effort to relieve ourselves from all these things, right? It means the chances is we'll get even more like frustrated, we'll get more trapped into it. Okay. Now someone was asking just now in the snake. Okay, sorry was there any months that we need to pay attention for the snake? Okay.
That one I think you'll just probably need to rewind.
No. Actually, that just
we
didn't mention it.
Yeah, we missed it. Yeah,
Okay,
we
alright.
didn't mention about the month.
Okay.
Of course, when it comes to robbery, sharks and all this, okay, when it comes to like money financially, the snake have to take care or be careful when it comes to the month of November. Okay, so the snake have to be careful of the month of November, and then the snake also have to be careful of the this is robbery shark, right? Robbery shark and that's why. Okay, only November that you have to pay more attention to for the snake itself. And then when it comes to the August month also, it's also a month that, remember the greed, don't let greed gets too much into you. Whatever it is, right, okay, just don't let the emotions, the greed of emotions of greed itself, right, okay, impact on you. It means there are more temptations that will come up in the month of August. Means whatever that's been promised or whatever that seems good, okay, might not be that great at the end of the day. Okay, as long as you're not greedy, you'll be safe. Okay.
So we back to the horse again.
Okay.
So here has another question. What if the horse, right, is actually in their luck pillar for next year?
Okay, when you're in luck pillar means again, alright, all these things in a way that your daily things, it will be part of you because the luck pillar is actually a part of you. You have an additional animal there to actually look into, okay? So it's like our daily things, okay? Small little things, our daily things, we will encounter all these calamities and all that. So in the luck pillar especially, it's like those small little moments of time that all these things will appear. So calamity stars means that try to stay away from environment that has more natural disasters, there's more mishaps. If you already know, because I know a lot of people right now, they say, oh, because certain countries itself has a lot of riots going on, okay? Things are like, become cheaper, even the hotels are cheap, even the flight tickets are cheap. They're thinking, let's go there for a holiday. So if you have what we call a calamity star, like the horse next year, right? Now, okay, means don't go and try to enjoy for this sort of things, even though you know that there's some volcano eruptions going on anytime soon, but because of that the tourist area becomes like super cheap. Okay, if you have calamity star, stay away from all these things. Okay, because chances of natural disasters will affect you will be higher. It means that if you have typhoons, you have like really like thunderstorming going on even in KL nowadays, like flash flood happens anytime. Okay, so if you have this calamity stars, the horse, remember to stay indoor more whenever you have like heavy rain going on, because if not, maybe through halfway and you find that you're kind of stuck.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright.
On top of that, just a quick reference, right, for those horse born as well, because it is a clash with the tie, so you clash with the pig, so health. Yes. Particularly,
well, health is like the weakest.
Correct. And also particularly when it comes to this one, of course, the blood circulation, heart-related issues, blood pressure, possible stroke. So those of you, of course, who attended the events or the health event that Jessie spoke at, then those are the key elements that you may want to look into depending on the overall configuration.
Yeah,
of your
yeah,
chart.
yeah. I think that's a very, very good point to remember, because next year itself, this year in fact and next year are where like the highest chance of potential heart attack and also stroke issues, okay? Especially the horse. So if you have a horse in your chart itself, it will be a good year for you to at least go for checkups, okay? And before you go for checkup, please make sure that you're insured first, then only go for checkup, alright? So that will be like a more intelligent thing to do, more wiser thing to do, okay? Alright, then
So
the next one.
which month that we should focus?
Okay, now the health issues that since Kong Yue brought it up, okay, the health issues is of course June and also December, but throughout the year itself, it's also important for the horse to look into, okay? And then other than that, also the horse, I think they're already like quite sad already, okay? Alright, so just be careful of the June and the December, but make sure that remember the whole year itself, okay? The whole year itself focus on learning more. It's a year for you to learn how to manage financially, to learn how to, in a way, to self-discipline, to manage self-discipline, to take care of yourself. So the horses take it as a good year for you to actually go through this. And also self-discipline in a way for you to manage your mind. Because herder stars is also relating to the mind. If your mind is not strong, the chances is you get manipulated easily by your ego, okay? And whatever you see obstacles rather than possibilities to overcome obstacles. I always say it's the horse. Ask yourself next year, do you see problems in all solution, or you see solution in every problem? That is a good quote for you to remind yourself on, okay? Every time you see a problem, you try to find solution to it, or every time people try to suggest a solution to you, you try to find a problem in that solution, okay? So that defines whether you will have a good year or not in terms of the year of 2020.
Yeah.
The next one will be the goat.
Yeah, that's a quick little reference here. Horse in month pillar, how do will be affected? So everything that we have spoken about generally will apply to you, Lord, because it's your one pillar, which is your day-to-day environment, and also your character,
Yeah.
your own basic
Your
personality
thinking.
character.
Yeah.
So one word, be positive.
It means more of those lessons will come in the aspect of your own, your own logic, okay? Because it's logic, thinking, and characteristics, right? Okay. Probably you have like now a controversial sort of dilemma between logic and doing what's right, or doing what's right, or doing what makes you happy. Okay. So that comes from the month. Or you have all these lessons coming from your immediate workplace, your company, your superiors, and all these things, okay? So you find the stress comes from that immediate environment. Remember, every pillar itself, always try to match it back to the palaces, okay? What does that particular pillar means at the end of the day? Now the next one is goat. Goat, you have, of course, goat is the best one now, okay?
Yeah.
So those of you, now after the biggest loser, we go to the biggest winner.
Yeah.
So side by side, okay? Alright, so again, I have to say, doesn't mean that you're ranked number one. It means that it will be a terrific year for you. If you are not prepared, also next year also will be a learning curve for you. But the good stars are Dragon Virtue, Emperor Star, Treasure Merit, and Heavenly Heat Noble, okay? And now of course, the inauspicious stars will be the Dark Sky, Brutal Defeat, Six Harm, and Anusha.
OK，咁樣呢一個羊咧有呢個吉星啦，有龍德星啦、紫微星啦、六勤星啦，同埋天翼貴人嘅。咁即係空星咧有天壓星啦、寶拜星啦、六害同埋歲煞嘅。咁樣阿 Jessie 咁樣佢有係排第一喎，咁佢係最旺啦。咁係咪代表佢啲空星係唔會有好大嘅影響啊？
Now, generally, if you are really prepared, means throughout the years itself, you have learned, you know your self-value, your self-worth, you have been truthful to yourself, okay, you have confidence, you have no self-esteem issue whatsoever. Good. Next year, it will be a fantastic year for you. It means you have no blockage anymore. You have learned all these blockages. But let's say if you still have all this residue of past years' lessons that you have not learned, all these stars itself are not going to help you. Why is it so? Because Dragon Virtue and Emperor Star, both of it actually appears together. And Dragon Virtue, what does it mean? The virtue, by the name of virtue itself, right? Virtue means something that we work ourselves towards, you know. It's not something that's really given. Okay, you 修行㗎. Means virtue means 德啊. Okay, means like under the Tao Te Ching or Confucian's teaching and all that. Virtue means like 你要修德. Means you have to actually accumulate all these virtues. And of course, the basic 5 virtues will be like, 仁義禮智信. Okay, that's benevolence. Okay, humanity. Okay, that's righteousness and justice. Being truthful, that's also part of it. Okay, means that being righteous to other people also means that it needs to start with yourself. Are you being righteous to yourself? Are you being justifiable to yourself or not? Okay, and of course, in terms of 禮儀 means mannerism or proper rights. Okay, alright, do you have this? That 禮儀 means proper right represents relationship. Okay, how do you get along with people normally? 彬彬有禮 do you get along with people very nicely, very harmoniously? You can get along with people, and you have no issues into connecting with people at all. Alright, knowledge, wisdom, 智. Okay, that's your wisdom. You have knowledge, you have wisdom, you know how to think. Okay, you know what's your truth, you know what's the other person's truth, and you know what is the overall how to say worldly truth, which is good for everyone. Okay, that is wisdom. And of course, the last part is integrity and trust. Okay, do you trust yourself in the first place so that you can trust other people? Now, all these basic 5 virtues, how ready are you? If you're ready with the dragon virtue there, it will enhance your luck. It will be a terrific and fantastic year for you. But any of those virtues, if you have not learned the lesson, you also still need to learn it. It means that even though you have a goat or a few goats in your chart, okay, but you have not learned all these things, it will still be a very, very challenging year for you. Okay, so these are the basic things that you need to learn in order for us to benefit from all the auspicious stars later on. Okay, and of course, you also have heavenly noble, treasure merit. Now, treasure merit means that this is Luk Kan Sing. Kan Sing means, right, okay, it's a star that represents that money comes from diligent or hardworking things. Okay, it means that if you want money, the goal itself, if you're thinking that good luck can just come to you after knowing that you are number 1 out of 12 ranking and you just sit there and wait for money to come, the bad news is it's not coming to you. Okay, means that because you have this treasure merit, means that Lok Kan means all this prosperity, wealth that comes to you only when you are actually diligent or like you're good or you're hardworking towards the thing that you want to achieve. Okay, you need to be industrious. Okay, you need to be also in a way that like self-management is very important. You need to be disciplined. Okay, so if you're disciplined, next year best year for you.
係啦，咁樣就sorry，
唔緊要，繼續。
咁樣咧就講到咧呢一個羊咧係呢12生肖入邊咧今年係最好嘅。咁頭先我就有問 Jessie 啦，係咪等於咧即係你咩係最好咧？唔係㗎，係佢機會咧係要俾有準備嘅人嘅。即係若果你有好多呢啲嘢咧係要收翻嚟嘅，或者係要努力翻嚟先會得到嘅。即係你過往啊，你做咗啲好多努力啊，做咗好啲好俾心機做好多嘅嘢咧，咁今年咧就會有一個非常之好嘅回報。咁若果你之前係冇有收過呢一個自己嘅收得，或者你嘅禮儀啊，或者信任啊，其實呢啲嘢咧就可能分分鐘係變成一個唔好嘅嘢啦。
Okay, and also the goat itself, right? Okay, the dark sky brutal defeat 6 times at annual shrine. It means that, okay, now brutal defeat especially, for those of you who are very impatient, who are very temperamental, okay, brutal defeat means that it can actually suddenly, at a moment of time, it turns all the good things into a mishap, into a very bad things, out of emotional mismanagement. It means that in a way that you are not, it's all about wisdom, 智慧. You don't have the wisdom to actually manage yourself emotionally. Out of a small little things will actually 嚟講千年道行一朝爽. It means that because of that particular moment and you cannot manage it properly, right? Okay, whatever that you have accumulated over the years itself, it will become like disastrous. It will become like wasted. Okay, so always remember, the higher the auspicious stars you have, the higher the power you have, the higher the responsibility you need to have. Okay, so it's not always the best thing to have all this best stuff. Okay, right? So even though you have it, but you're not ready, it means that you can also suffer from the stars itself.
That's why it's very interesting that these 2 stars usually are together. Brutal defeat as well as the dragon virtue. So it's also a test. So every time they cycle to your animal sign, whichever animal sign that you have in your actual chart, then it's also a sign of are you ready or not? Do you have these 5 virtues or not? Are you ready with all these practices?
其實天係好公平㗎，即係雖然佢俾咗你一個非常之好嘅星，但係亦都可以係講好似阿 Jessie 講千年道行一朝爽，即係可能因為你一個嘅道德唔好啦，就會吹滅晒咗你所有嘅嘢。 咁頭先呢度有一個Lily 咧，佢就問呢一個紫微星即係呢 Emperor Star 係 relate to 乜嘢咧
Emperor Star 同埋Emperor Star and Dragon Virtue stars are similar. They always appear together as well. Emperor Star is okay. Dragon Virtue and Emperor Star is all about power, status, authority. It's like an emperor. Okay. So you know in a way that of course the good itself. If you have harnessed all these lessons and you have learned and you have grown yourself, right? This is like the year where you 風得風，要雨得雨啊。It's like when you call for the wind, you got wind. When you call for the rain, you got rain. Technically, it's like direct translation. It means that it's a year really within your hand. Okay, you got all this power, but will you be the type as in like 揸住雞毛當令箭？Will you be the one that's 有風使盡？Okay, will you really like you've forgotten and you have lost your virtues? Okay, it's also a very important year to test that out for you.
其實咧呢一個最緊要咧，越多旺嘅星咧，係一定要越 humble 啦，即係要越更加嘅唔好太過嘅自告過高啊。
That's why at the end of the day, remember the 5 virtues. Whenever you have all these Dragon Virtue and Emperor Star every year, right? Okay, don't look at it only as a wow, I'm just gonna sit here and goya kaki a bit for good things to happen. No, always question yourself. Out of the 5 elements, okay, benevolence, righteousness, okay, mannerism, proper relationship with the people around you, wisdom and integrity. Have you harnessed all of it? In Chinese, they call 仁義禮智信. Okay, so make sure you have that.
Okay. Another clue, right? Based on the interaction of the hum of the rat and also the goat, which also because of that the 6 hum star is there. But we also have a clue about some of these challenges that you'll be facing in these positions of power, authority, expertise, and all that. And that is on unexpected events happening. Lack of information, lack of data, lack of the clear picture. So these sort of trials and tribulations and tests will also come and challenge you this year.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, yeah, that's the good news and the not so good news for the good. Okay. So again, remember, if you're ready, you're not afraid of any of these things because you are just now preparing yourself to reap. Okay, all this hard work that you have actually sowed for the years before this. Because next year will be the fantastic year for you. But all the while, if you go into that, the first starting in this on this session itself, I show you the bad luck chart. If you are under the lazy part where you have never actually worked on your skill, your talents or anything in life itself, and you want to wait for the gold where the auspicious stars comes to you and shine upon you and everything will transform, you wait long. Okay?
So what is the month?
Okay. The best months for the goat itself will be in March, okay, in July, and also in November, okay, and then there will be another one June also, okay. So March, June, July, November. These are the best years, especially when it comes to a lot of connections, people help, and all the things. Okay, but let's say again, as I say, if you're not ready, right? Okay, the disastrous months itself, especially in January, okay, 2021, January 2021. And then if you have in December and January 2020 and 2021, these are the 2 months that you have to be extra careful of. Okay, all right. Other than that, of course, October, okay, will be also another year where it will, in a way that makes you feel very stressed, bullied, suppressed in a way. Okay, and of course the next one will be monkey. Right.
A little simpler, this one.
Yeah, monkey, very fast forward. Okay, you have one good star, which is the fortune star, and then one inauspicious stars, which is the white tiger. Now the fortune star looks on, it means that okay, this is a good year for you to focus in terms of your fortune, in terms of your career, in terms of your wealth, or in terms of your investment. Anything that you can focus on to enhance, okay, alright, your fortune in life. Okay, and of course, the presence of the white tiger. White tiger represents again pettiness, especially from female, okay, that's white tiger. And then white tiger also represents pettiness, gossips and all these things, 好多小人嘅, okay. So remember the monkey itself, okay, this year itself, stay away or being emotionally affected by all these petty people. But let's say if you are a woman, if you are a lady, you are female, right? Having the white tiger can also means that you have the authority. Because white tiger, in a way, it represents a yin power authority star. Okay? So if you have a white tiger, it also means that this year is a year of authority for you. So it's not too bad. Okay? But for the males, remember, 寧得罪小人，莫得罪女人 means this year itself, right? Okay, female try not to offend them, okay, or else it will actually get quite chaotic for you. Alright.
OK，so 呢一個如果有呢個馬騮咧喺你嘅八字入邊咧，咁你又得兩個星啦，咁都唔係一個壞事嚟嘅，有時太多咧都唔知要做啲咩。咁呢一個有一粒吉星咧叫做六神。同埋有一個白虎嘅，白虎係即係空星啦。但係如果呢一個係女仔嘅話咧，有呢個白虎咧，即係代表你有呢個權利啊。如果唔係咧，就今年咧最好咧就係 stay away from pettiness， 即係講避免一啲是是非非啊，或者係小人嘅。咁亦都係專注就係勤力啦。咁樣你有得勤力嘅話咧，咁就有呢一個好嘅。
Practical, be more practical this year since the fortune star is there, right? Whatever it is, right? Okay, all the gossips and whatever, it doesn't matter. Be practical. Does it bring you more money or not? Okay, right? It brings you more money. It brings you more success or growth in life itself. Just go for it. If you want to get into an environment where it's actually not growing you, stay away. Okay, and the months which is good for the monkey is April, May, and December. Okay, April, May, December, monkeys, right? Chances is like this few months itself will be a better month for you, okay? To the things that you want to achieve.
Those months that you have to watch out for, just an additional note, I mean, white tiger, Pak Fu also generally will mean possible physical injury. I'd say you have to be careful, especially since the monkey sign is a moving animal sign also, during travel, during driving. You have to be extra careful for 2020.
Especially the months itself, it's like clashing with the monkey, then it will be a tiger month, which is February. Alright, so February itself, okay, you just need to be extra careful. And then if you want to look into it, even the snake month, even snake May, month. The snake month, okay, and the tiger, which is February, May, and then if you really want to, even August itself.
Right, okay? August and also November. Just be careful driving, especially when you're moving out and about, and for physical danger.
Okay, the last three. Alright, the next one will be Rooster. Rooster, we have the auspicious stars, which is Heavenly Virtue Star, Prosperity Star, Peach Blossom Star, Sky Happiness, and 8 Seeds. Okay, and then of course the inauspicious will be the Goat Blade, Salty Poo, Drape Star, and Curled Tongue. So generally, Roosters itself, this year will be a very good year for you in terms of relationship. If you have harnessed, all the lessons that you need to learn and grow from relationship aspect, because you have the prosperity, Peach Blossom Star, Sky Happiness, all this relates to relationship matters, So if you are the type of person that you see that, 出嚟人見人愛車見車載, everyone likes you, you get along with people, no problem and whatsoever, this will be a good year for you, But somehow, if you always find that you get into relationship disasters, every time, the beginning of relationship is is good, but after that, right, the more you get closer to each other, the more disastrous it can be. It means that this year itself, in terms of 2020, the Rooster will have major lessons in that. Okay.
咁樣呢一個，如果你係屬雞嘅人咧，咁今年咧就係排第2嘅喎。咁呢一個有好多吉星啦，有天德啦、福星啦、桃花啦、天氣啦，同埋8座嘅。咁呢一個空星有陽印啦、咸池啦、波馬啦，同埋卷舌，有好多 technical terms 啊。咁總言之咧，呢一個嘅吉星咧都係有關係同呢一個嘅桃花有關係嘅。咁若果你今年想拉埋天窗係最好嘅一年啦。但係若果有一啲人，若果每一次你拍拖啊，或者係 relationship 係有啲問題嘅話咧，咁即係亦都可以話喺今年咧，都有好多嘢你係需要學習嘅，即係唔一定係非常之好，亦都可能講大家坐埋一齊嚟傾下你哋兩個之間嘅關係啲問題啊，咁樣去 improve 嘅。
Okay, so this year itself, remember, pay attention to your emotions, since this is lessons mainly on relationship, right? So pay attention to your emotions, especially what you feel when you're getting along with people. Does people really takes you easily? You fall in love easily with people? These are the lessons you need to learn, So it boils back down to actually learning how to love other people. And love doesn't mean it's intimate love, I've seen people around me that's somehow, they feel that everyone is in love with them. In a way that they feel that everyone loves me, everyone loves me, this one loves me, especially in my younger days and all that, right? Or some people always feel that everyone is against them. Everyone has something against them. Everyone hates them, and then they tend to run away from getting along with people. So whichever part or equations that you're in, you also know that you have to learn the lessons on relationship. how you manage people, what's your PR skill, how you socialize. So it will be a best year for you to come out, meet more people, socialize more. If you're single, that will be a terrific year for you because the chances of you meeting someone you like, that you will spend, or your soulmate, or that you will spend the rest of your life, or someone that is good enough to show you the lessons of love, okay, will appear in 2020. Okay, so remember, don't run away from it.
即係個關係咧，唔一定係兩公婆或者係自己同，即係可以係同自己嘅朋友啦、上司啦、下屬啦，或者你身邊嘅，即係要搞好自己嘅關係啦。咁我哋要邊一個月份咧係需要注意嘅咧
Okay, when it comes to Rooster, the better months for in terms of like connection, PR, social skill and all that, okay, for the Rooster itself, you can pay attention to the April, okay, May, and then you look into January 2021. Okay, these are the few months. I remember also because you have the curved tongue and it comes to relationship, how you get along with people, right? The curved tongue will also in a way that sends you the lesson of like being truthful with what you say. So remember the Roosters itself, right? Okay. Now, whether or not at the end of the day will you be able to actually manage a relationship long-term wise, okay? It depends on how or what you say. Are you being truthful enough, okay? Or are you trying to actually say something in order to make other people happy so that people will stick along with you? Now, that is your biggest lesson. Because a lot of time, right, okay, people will actually say something to please other people because they want more people around them. So if you are used to this, next year, Rooster year will be a very big year for you because things will seem to be okay beginning initially, and after that a big blow will come to you and you have to learn the biggest relationship lessons in life.
Yeah,
okay.
and these relationships will come into challenge all that you've learned and what you've become and what you've grown to, and also be prepared for a major shift in day-to-day life. Right? That's what the Rooster and also the rat interaction tends to come with.
Alright. So it's also a year where if you're really thinking about it's time to change your relationship, maybe you can. Okay.
Yeah, it's also a possibility.
Now, you see, when I say change, doesn't mean you have to change your partner. Huh? You can also change the way that you're handling the relationship, the way that you're actually behaving or contributing to the relationship. Okay. So never take all this astrology as an excuse for you to justify your decision. Okay?
So like Jen Ho asked how it impact to 10-year luck pillar again. So again, it's going to be to your daily life， 即係你每一日都係會發生嘅，即係 part of you 啦，所以你都係要 take note of 呢一樣嘢。咁四清就講next year I can marry out or not。咁你首先就要partner 先啦。
Are you ready?
Yeah. Are you ready？ 就算係 partner。
So for Rooster Sejin, next year will be the best year for you to learn about love life. Okay.
Yeah.
And when it comes to love, there's a lot of lessons to learn. You have to learn about the communication. You have to learn about compassion. You have to learn about trust. What else are there? You have to really learn how to really work things out in order to grow the relationship rather than fighting who's right and who's wrong or pointing fingers or blaming and all this sorts. So yeah, it will be a fun year for you, Sejin.
It will be interesting. Generally there will be some chance of a changed relationship, right? So a possible marriage, and when you talk about poor destruction, could be one of the indications of change in
provided you're seeing someone now.
Correct, relationship status can change.
Yeah, a change of relationship status. If you are already seeing someone, you can get married, okay? If you are single, you can start to see someone. If you are married, either you better enhance the relationship or it can also go into a destructive mode. Okay.
Jen is curious here, my changes in day-to-day life mean your everyday lifestyle?
Yeah.
Right, so for example, if you are single and suddenly you meet someone, because of this destruction, so that will generally affect how you lead your day-to-day life because now you're seeing someone new, and so on and so forth.
Okay, alright, so all roosters, enjoy your peachy blossom next year, and remember whatever it is, okay, don't stay away from people. Even the people that give you the hardest lessons to learn itself, okay, face them, learn from it. Ask yourself, why are these people affecting you emotionally, okay? Then throw the questions within yourself and ask yourself the questions, why are you allowing all these people to play around with your emotions? They make you angry, they make you jealous, they make you sad. Why is it so? Okay, so in order for you to learn. Of course, the last two animal signs, the dog, golden carriage, sky relief star, the two auspicious stars for the dog, okay, and then the inauspicious stars will be red chamber, blood knife, sky dog, lonesome star, funeral guest, instability star, leopard star, leopard tail. So if you have a dog itself, okay, the auspicious stars itself will be golden carriage and sky relief. Okay, golden carriage means, okay, there's a possibilities for you to actually meet with people or marry into or get connected or build a relationship with people who are wealthy, financially be able to support you. Okay, now this doesn't, in the olden days it say marriage, but nowadays you don't really need to actually means marriage. It means that somehow you can find investors, okay, a person that can support you into the things that you're doing. That's also golden carriage.
可能就會嫁一個有錢人啦。
Okay, right, that's also a possibility, okay? And then of course, sky relief, it means that somehow, okay, the stars for you is the best year for you to try to relieve problem. Whatever that you have accumulated, okay, debts, misunderstandings, or whatever from the past, or some health issues that you have accumulated from the past, that you are thinking to relieve it this year, okay? To lead a better health, to lower down your cholesterol level, okay, or your sugar level, to actually try to work on a relationship of some misunderstanding that's been accumulated since previous years. This will be a good year for you to do so with the presence of the sky relief, okay? And of course, red chamber, okay, red chamber itself is a lustful star when it comes to relationship, okay? It means there will be more temptations, okay, especially when it comes to lust, okay? So you have to be careful if you are married, okay? Blood knife and sky dog, okay, these two stars itself, and leopard tail, these three stars prone to injury. Alright, so the chances of like surgeries, injuries to the body and all that will be higher. Now, do not be afraid of surgeries. There are some surgeries can be positive. For instance, if you're giving birth, okay? If you're giving birth and you have to go through a surgery that will leave scars on your body, that's totally fine with sky dog and blood knife. Or if you have to actually, like chances of you might hurt yourself, paper cut or whatever, that somehow it leaves some scars on your body, or you have a pet that scratches you and leaves scars on your body. It happens all the time, okay? Alright, so these are also the effect of a sky dog and a blood knife together. So don't be too alarmed by the presence of these stars itself. As long as when you're driving, you're on the road, when you're dealing with anything which is like, high risk, okay, of like hurting yourself, you just have to be extra vigilant and extra careful. That's all. Instability star itself will affect you emotionally, where you find that sometimes, okay, you feel like you are at the top of your emotions, and the next moment you become so depressed and you're unsure why. So it's like a yo-yo effect of your emotions. So always remember, it's a good year for you to manage your emotion well.
Okay? But Jessie, how about the funeral guests? Does it mean that they don't? It's not recommend to attend some
now,
funerals?
normally in the olden days, they say that, okay, avoid funerals, avoid all these negative sort of like yin events, okay? But nowadays, even the yin event is not very yin, because in the olden days, the yin event is actually like, really very yin. Nowadays, it's like, you have buffet dinner going on, okay? You have like people mingling around, okay? All these things is like very bright environment set up, and then people are not like crying as usual like last time. I mean, of course, people do cry probably still, but in the olden days, you know that people normally, right, they have to cry. In fact, there are people, those lamolo in Taoism and all this, right? Lamolo, they will hire people to actually sit aside to cry, okay? And even the people who are doing the prayers and all these things, right, okay? They will actually, as they pray, and they will cry and all these things. And this makes you, especially if you have instability start, when your emotions are not very stable, and when you see all this like crying effect and all that, it will actually leads you down to a very depressed mode, okay? But in the modern days itself, not necessarily must be funeral. It can be, let's say, for instance, you listen to all these sad love songs, okay? You watch all this like, where all this soap opera, Korean, Taiwanese drama that makes you cry all the time, okay? If you overly indulge in all these things, it will also impact you negatively. Or you spend a lot of time with negative people who complain, every time you see them, they were whining, they will complain this, complain that, everything is negative. When you spend a lot of time with them, it will also affect a lot. So always remember, those people who are negative, unfriend them for 1 year.
Okay. So 講翻呢一個狗啦，咁狗雖然係咪好多吉星啦，吉星係得呢個金庫同埋呢一個天解嘅，咁Golden Carriage 咧，即係代表咧，即係你今年咧會遇到一啲人咧係比較權威，係比較高啲啦，或者係比較有錢啦，所以亦都有可能可以嫁到呢一個有錢人嘅。天界即係講有好多嘢，你平時即係以前啊好多啲誤會啊，或者好多一啲唔開心一啲嘢咧，咁今年咧就可以，即係明年咧可以係解決呢一個問題嘅。咁空星咧有呢一個紅顏啦、月印啦、天狗啦、寡宿啦、吊黑啦、浮沉啦、豹尾啦。 好多。咁即係總言之嚟講咧，即係可能今年就如果你係一個係有結婚嘅人啊，或者係你會諗下，即係有出邊或者有一啲爛桃花係會 challenge 翻你自己嘅。咁除咗呢一個之外咧，咁今年明年亦都有可能有呢個機會率啊，會去會割傷自己啊，或者係去做一啲嘅手術啦。咁手術亦都唔代表係唔好嘅，即係代表你可能解決一啲係問題嘅。仲有就係最好就係仲有咧就係 instability star， 即係你浮神，即係盡量冇將自己去有一個 negative，亦都唔好去同一啲好多負面嘅朋友聚埋一齊。如果唔係咧，你就變成非常之負面㗎啦。
Okay, so generally, dog itself is very important for you to learn how to manage your emotions.
Correct. Yes. That and also I think some lessons that you need to face that have come to a peak now this coming year 2020, which is your emotions, relationships with other people, causing you to feel those emotions, and also lingering or hidden health issues.
Yeah,
You have
okay.
to take note and face those.
Yeah, and the months that will make you more emotional will be April, and then you will look into July, and you look into September, you will look into January 2021 as well. So these few months itself, you tend to get more emotional, and the more emotional you are, the chances is the more negative luck you will attract. Okay. Alright, and the last one.
Finally.
Okay, and the last one, the auspicious stars will be Heavenly Doctor and Academic Star.
This is the
And
pig
then-
Which is this
or
the
the
pig.
boar.
pig.
Yeah.
Okay, the pig, year of the pig, and then the inauspicious stars will be the Death God, Heavenly Officer Charm, auspicious stars will be Heavenly Doctor, Academic Star, and Heavenly Chef. Sorry, and then inauspicious stars will be Death God, Heavenly Officer Charm, Sickness Charm, and Exceeding Path Star. Okay, so. Now the pig itself, right, this year itself, you have just gone through an emotional turbulent year because this is a self-punishment year together with a Fan Tai Chi year, okay, that goes against Grandeur Jupiter, okay? So somehow in next year itself, right, you are on a recovering state still, right? So you have this few auspicious stars, which is Heavenly Doctor, Kidney, which is very good in terms of for you to focus on your health. So if you have a long-term goal to actually like pay attention to your health, you want a healthier body or a healthier mind, okay? This will be a good year for you to work on it, okay? And then you have also Heavenly Chef and also Academic Star. So for the pigs itself, it will be a good year for you to focus on to learning something, like get yourself like academically certified or certain things, learn a new skill, anything that can help you to enhance in terms of your long-term goal or your career or your businesses, that will be great for you. Heavenly Chef just means that it means that 2020 itself, right? The chances is you will have more opportunities to be like indulging or like surrounded by good food, good recommendations of food and other things, which is a good thing, okay? But of course, together with the sickness charm, you have to be careful. Sometimes overindulgence of this food itself will also affect you negatively in terms of your health. So balance is the key. And the negative star, Death God itself. Death God itself, right, okay, this star itself, now it can be a very hardworking star because Death God itself means, right, okay, in a way that it can be a very hardworking. Normally in the olden days, you have a Death God star means you are very hardworking, but you lost your soul. You know, some people that, they in a way, they can be forgetful. Now, that's why Death God also means that they are also forgetful. But when you are so hardworking, you are so focused onto your work and whatsoever, you have forgotten about the people around you, okay? About your loved ones, your family. So for the pig itself, you have to remember at the end of the day, money might not be everything, okay? So what else in your life that matters to you? Probably is a good year for you to ask yourself such a question, okay? If you're so hardworking, yes, it's a good thing generally, but is your life balanced or not? Okay, and Mongsan also in a way that you tend to put yourself into some attachment or addictions to make yourself forget about certain things. It means that, okay, from a minor aspect that like minor things, where did I park my car? Did I lock the door? Did I switch off the stove? Okay, did I switch off the light and all these things? Well, somehow you will always have all these things that will suddenly pops up and ask you, have I done this right? Have I done this? Have I forgotten to do that? Okay, so it will affect your focus, okay, or your presence, okay, the presence of your soul at that moment. It means everything that you do, right, you just do it on an autopilot mode. But after that, you've forgotten whether you have really done it or not, okay? So it's always remember, for the pig itself, next year, always remember to bring yourself back to the moment, okay? Means your physical body is here and your soul is also present at the moment. Therefore, you don't let your mind fly to the past or go to the future that much, okay? Or else, it is easy for you to forget about a lot of important things in your life. Okay. Okay, and then other than that, okay, you have like exceeding path star. Exceeding path star is also you say means that you find that somehow things becomes very maksang. It means it becomes very how to say maksang means, strange. Yes, like strangers to you. Things are not as familiar as before. You suddenly find that your partners, your friends, okay, like they don't understand you anymore. They don't emotionally support you anymore. As if that you don't know this person. Now it's just a feeling, okay? It's just a feeling that it will impact on you emotionally. Do not let this feeling really get onto you. Don't just allow this feeling to impact you and to make a judgment over a certain person or try to run away from a certain things, okay? Now, exceeding path will be good since it's like a new feelings and all that, okay? Feeling new, feeling unfamiliar. So it will be good for you to always challenge yourself or try to get yourself into unfamiliar grounds, okay? Maybe like, you always get into projects where you're working with new environment, new people, get into environment where you meet new people as well. Unfamiliar ground itself is where you will grow. Okay, so if you stay too routine into one place itself, the chances is after a while you feel empty inside. So it's a time to really ask you to make certain change in your life. Alright.
係啦，咁樣如果有豬咧，就會有呢個吉星，有天醫啦、文昌啦、天隨，咁有空星有亡神啦、天官符啦、病符啦，同埋白月。咁咩意思咧？即係因為今年嘅呢一個屬豬或者係有豬喺你嘅八字入邊咧，都係講犯太歲。咁即係講今年以嚟咧，你係情緒非常之多嘅。咁明年咧就會將會係一個啱先話講要 recall 啊，即係開始唞翻下啦，開始可以慢慢去 recall 一下你自己嘅情緒啊。所以今年最可以可以做嘅，明年可以做嘅話咧，就係去睇下醫生啊，或者係 check 下自己嘅 health 啊，做多啲運動啊，讀翻一啲書啊，文昌星係一個書即係讀書啊。你亦都有呢一個口福可以食有好多嘅嘢嘅。咁你要注意嘅咧就係呢個亡神啊，亡神即係講可能你太過努力啦，你忘記咗自己身邊好重要嘅朋友啊，或者係自己嘅父母啊，或者係搞到你即係三日唔見七拍咁樣啊，所以就要注意翻呢一樣嘢啦。同埋就係明年咧，亦都有啲人你發覺到有啲朋友好似開始唔了解你啊，有啲嘢好多時候係陌生㗎，或者做一啲嘢係非常之陌生。咁有時候即係將自己喺一個環境唔係好熟悉嘅環境之下咧，其實成長都係好大嘅。咁樣Jessie 要邊一個月份咧？佢哋係特別注意嘅咧。
Okay, so for the pig itself, right? Okay, there are a few months that you have to be careful, especially the emotional part that's going to affect you or impact on you, right? Okay, so February is one of the months, and then May is another month that you have to be careful emotionally. November itself is also another month that you have to focus on, because November, the chances of you making mistakes, okay, or making decisions that you will regret it later on, chances is also higher. And yes, for that girl, who's that? So Ping Cheng, is it? Ping Chong or Ping Cheng? Ping Cheng. So you are asking, is like, so Mongsan doesn't mean death? No, Mongsan doesn't mean death. Not physical death, okay? Alright, at least it means soulfully. Are you spiritually or soulfully dead? Means that you're like a robot, you're like hardworking, working, but you have no soul. Okay? Like everything you're doing, after that you forgot, oh, I have to do this, have I do that, It means that you are not at the moment all the time. Your mind is flying all over the place. So remember, for year 2020, all the pigs, ground yourself. Always remember, bring your mind back to the current moment, okay? You don't have to think too far ahead. You don't have to live in the past. You just have to be where you are now, okay? So when you do that, of course, meditation is a very good activities or exercise for us to always train ourselves to be mindful and be at the moment. So these are the things. Or yoga, some of you do yoga, Pilates and all that. That's a very good activities to actually work on. Since it's an academic year for the pig itself, learn something like this. Or even cooking, Heavenly Chef. You have Heavenly Chef, learning cooking, because by learning cooking and all that, baking, it brings you back to the moment. You have to focus, you have to really focus on the things that you are doing. Or even drawing, okay? Do more activities or hobbies like this to train your mind to come back to the moment instead of allowing it to fly all over the place.
Right. I think it's a lot of follow through from this particular year. See if you have a big animal sign, you know that you're affected, you're emotional this year 2019. So whatever happened, whatever emotions and turbulence and also a lot of self-punishment lessons that you are learning this year, you will have to resolve them next year.
Yeah.
Naturally, it could have tired you out, hence you're more prone to some sickness, possible minor bouts of his sickness throughout the year. Also probably makes you feel weird, right? Whether the circumstances around you feels different, or your own mindset is different, how you feel people around you are different. It's all a result of what has happened this year. So it's good for you to take those lessons, to heal yourself, to get focus, to get clarity, and also learn new skills and so on and so forth.
Jen Ho asking, is the energy coming in like from now, started already for next year?
Actually, that's a good question, Jen Ho. Now, the energy of the rat itself will gradually comes in from December onwards, okay? So it's like, that's why now is really the transitions, because next month itself where the pig is really phasing off, and you will see that the rat gradually comes in from December onwards and officially fully make its presence by February 4th, means Lapchun time, okay? So it will gradually come in by December. So you will slowly feel the impact already. And then also another one, I think some of you actually asked for the months for the rooster. We already share it, okay? So those of you miss out the months, you can just replay the whole thing. But the rooster itself now, the better months for you to actually go out, connect and all those things, right? For the rooster itself will be the dragon is April, May, and also in January next year in 2021. Okay. So basically, and someone actually asked about Fu Yin.
It's a
I
good
never
question.
say anything about Fu Yin.
Yeah.
So 3 Geng Zi next year, is it Fu Yin? Yes, it's a Fu Yin. So this is more technical. So normally students, you have to study, right? Okay, when you see similar pillars, next year is a Geng Zi matter right here. Okay, appearing again and again, it means that there will be Fu Yin happening. Fu Yin means, right, okay, simply means that there's like generally it means a sad event. Okay, something that we will tear upon, we will we will cry, okay, or something sentimental, or it touches the core of our heart, because everything becomes the same, right? It becomes void and it reaches directly to our heart itself. So in the olden days, it says something to be like sadness and all these things, but nowadays it doesn't need to be sadness, because it's tearful event, right? Means that somehow suddenly you have this most blissful moment. You feel that wow, it's like you feel that you're so full of gratitude in life itself that you shed a tear or two, okay, that can be a Fu Yin as well. So remember, whether it is a very sad event or a negative impact, or it is a good event, or it's like a very blissful moment, it depends on how ready we are with our life. Now, astrology is just a tool to actually tell us, okay, what other things we need to learn from what aspect of life, how to harness it, how to manage ourselves, to be fully in control with our life itself, so that whatever elements that comes in and out every year itself, it won't impact on us negatively anymore. That's the purpose of astrology. It is not there to dictate our life as in, oh, next year you're going to have bad luck, or next year you have good luck. It doesn't work that way, okay? It's just going to tell us that it teaches how to grow as a person, okay, or a human being in a way to harness all these lessons that we need to learn, so that our energy will spiral upward, okay, instead of maintaining at the same level or spiral downwards, okay? So that is the purpose of astrology.
係啦，咁Jessie，你個 fans 咧就問你喎，你會唔會去 Kuching 啊？
Okay, am I going to Kuching? I just got back from Kuching for the Shida talk. Okay, so somehow at the short term period we are not going, but yes, we do have our annual Feng Shui and Astrology talk. The dates has been out. For Kuala Lumpur, it has been from January 4th, okay, which will be the English session, which our dear MC here, Kong Yu, okay, and January 5th itself will be the Cantonese session in KL with Nicholas Ong, which is Yong Shu Wai, okay. So if you want to get a ticket, the ticket will be out for sale now. Usual price is 128 ringgit, okay. Now we are having a promotion sale of early bird price of 88 ringgit, okay. 88 ringgit early bird price, okay. So if you are interested to get a ticket, it will be good for you to contact, okay, our office, Solar Trinity. Don't ask me the number now. I think it's on our website, or go onto the Solar Trinity website.
Just look it up.
Just look it up. It's like somewhere there. Okay.
Message
All right. So later on,
Facebook.
we will actually put in the contact number there. It's like you asked me now offhand, I couldn't remember. So I really hope that you can join me, so that during the talk itself, I do not want to zoom in into the 12 animal sign, auspicious and inauspicious stars anymore. I want to go a deeper layer. So those of you have followed this 2 hours, 2.5 hours, okay, session, all right? So it's like watching a full movie, okay? So if you have followed this session itself, right, okay, remember in January, we will go into a different aspect, into looking into the chart, a deeper layer of what to expect, what to strategize to get yourself ready for next year. We'll talk about the feng shui environment perspective, what is the best location, direction, okay? And we'll also talk about date selection as usual. What is the best date for activations and all these things as well. So I really hope to see you January 4th and 5th will be in KL. We have now January 18, okay, which is in KK, Kota Kinabalu, Sabah. No dates for Kuching yet. We have a pending date, okay, to be confirmed for Tawau. Okay, so those of you if you are living in Tawau also, do stay tuned. We will update once the date has been firmed. So far, Kuala Lumpur date has been firmed. Anything else?
Okay. Well,
finally,
any last words?
Okay.
My last word is
for today.
My last word is for today. Means you have to repeat this video again and again, and the energy is coming in the December. So 即係咧，你要作明年嘅準備啊，咁好嘅準備。所以咧，時時咧都要 positive 嘅。即係因為機會永遠都係留俾準備嘅人啊，所以咧就 repeat 睇好多次，咁之後再嚟 Jessie 嘅 event 嚟知道更多嘅嘢啦。
Thank you so much
Thank
for tuning in. 2.5 hours, no joke, man. All of you are there. And thank you for all the comments and all the likes. Thank you so much, okay? And remember, right, okay, if you wanted to see a different result next year, you want to enhance your life, change is the only way to do it, okay? So you have to make changes. So you have to make progressive changes, okay? Not regressive ones, okay? Thank you so much. And of course, also, right, happy birthday to Kang Yu again.
Thank you very much.
Alright? That surprise is supposed to come
It's time
now.
The timing is a little bit off.
Yeah,
But
okay.
seriously, I mean, we appreciate all these people following for the past 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
好多人啊。
Yeah.
And thank you very much. And looks like our tea time talk has now become
Dinner. I feel so hungry by looking at this
We need to
cupcake.
celebrate Colin's birthday today.
We're gonna eat our cupcakes now.
So sad. Alright, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Alright,
Bye.
so stay tuned. See you in January. Bye bye.
Bye.